And the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
Yeah, I like winning. Feels better than losing. Good morning, everyone. I see the starting five hanging out behind Jason. Nice of them to come into the studio this morning after such a late night last night.
Who says they don't like back-to-backs?
Yes, they're back to your back. Look at
Yeah.
that. You can see Red Velvet kind of peering over the monitor, looking for his jump shot. There's Harrison Barnes. I know. Taking shots at my guy. DeMontis is really excited to be in. Did you guys catch that chant came through the I feel like that chant is like a salmon that's hooked, but just you don't feel confident enough to reel it in yet. You can hear the chant through the TV, but it's just so close.
Catch and release. You know, I can't. You know what? Sometimes when you hear something, then you can't not hear it. So when Chris Watkins said, "No, I kind of think they're just doing the song." So every time it starts, I got my headsets on. G-Man's doing the call, and I take one ear, take one ear off my headset, and I listen. I go, it just kind of depends on what you're listening for, Dave. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. Or wait, are they? I can't tell anymore. It's getting frustrating.
One of those Yanni Laurel things.
Laurel.
I hear clearly. I hear DeMontis Sabonis.
You want to hear that.
And I like what Dwayne's saying. That'll be the next thing added to NBA 2K.
Maybe.
Scott Moak posted that yesterday. And I love that it was added, but could they have maybe done better on the crowd chant? Because you hear
exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What is it?
I'm sure Chris could probably find it on Twitter. Because Scott goes like Keegan, like it's a weird Scott voice, but then the crowd goes like, it sounds like they're on some sort of mescaline. Just
Interesting.
No, it really is weird. Like, how hard is it? Seriously, I mean, look, it's cool that they put it in there. I don't want to mess anything up and make anyone mad. But, like, how hard is it to, like, take a recording of Scott going Keegan and the crowd going Murray really loud, and you put it in the little...
I've got it if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, please play it for Jason.
What is that?
Play it again, please. Is it even Murray?
What are we doing?
Key, like Scott's in like an F minor, and then the crowd's like,
The crowd's like Harold Minor,
right? Like, I'm just saying, I don't understand. I don't know how to program a computer. I don't know how to write code, but I gotta think you have a recorded file of Scott saying Keegan and the crowd saying, or there were several of them last night. And then you insert that every time. Apparently, it's every time Keegan makes a three. That's it. That's not hard, right? Easy.
It shouldn't be.
I'll tell you what's hard is, excuse me, this freaking piece of sunshine coming down on my head. I tried 3 different light bulbs this morning, and none of them were working. I'm just angelic. It's annoying. It looks like the sun is stabbing me in the eye hole, and all I can do is look at it.
Just know this, though, Dave, looking at our chat, our girl Jess, she's saying she's got her whole section doing the chant now for you.
Right,
Others believe that's what they're hearing is the chant. So Hey, look, if we've got people believing, and maybe this is just a slow starter, but hey, by the end of the year, if this is ramped up and going, then we're good. Goal accomplished.
I think our goal would be like when you see highlights from the Turkish basketball league with all the fans going crazy and flares going off. I think that's when we have done our job, right?
I'll bring flares.
Absolutely. What about tifos, Chris? Could that ever work out?
Oh, yeah. I think the Toronto Raptors have had a couple of those.
That's what we need to do. It really does need to be sort of a mid-level European soccer football type of atmosphere. We need fight songs. We need multiple player songs and chants. We need fireworks. We need tifos. We need all of the stuff they do without the drunken violence. And I think that we're then we'd be there.
How about just the drunk?
Just the drunk. Well, we saw that a couple years ago, and then Luke Walton got fired.
Puke.
Yeah. I don't know what I got for you. I don't really got anything. How was your evening? You were working, Jason.
It was good. How's the fam? How's young Mason handling? One missing, band. He's happy about that, but not basketball.
No, his tournament, his Calusa tournament was supposed to start yesterday. It was nice. The coach called him, I guess, and reassured him, that he, they know he's a hard worker. They know it's killing him. He feels like he's letting his team down. It's his first high school tournament, and he just doesn't miss time for anything. He doesn't get sick. He doesn't miss time. So this is kind of one of those builds character.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
He's dropped in my power ratings, Dave, but he can earn it back.
Yeah, he has kind of dropped in the child power ratings. I'm not gonna lie. But his default answer for everything is I'm fine. So I FaceTime him a few times a day. He's in his room and I'm down here. It's the easiest way to see him. And then we have this little.
But what about when he's sick? What do you guys do?
Oh, I just don't talk to him because I have no I have no time for failed kids. If you're sick, you're a failure. Get out of my face, says the guy who's been sick the last yeah, sorry. I can't shake this cough. And the cough isn't really doing anything. Like there's nothing behind it. It's just I have this constant itch in my throat and my chest. So I took something called Mucinex at 2 a.m. this morning. And because I wanted it to be peaking right around now. So I actually set an alarm to get up and take the Mucinex. So by the time we got on the air, it'd be 4 hours into the 12 hours it's supposed to work. I think it's working, but I got to tell you, for anybody who's ever taken Mucinex, holy crap, that's a horse pill, man. That thing's as long as my pinky.
Whoa.
I know.
Key. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Exactly. Try doing that. So we're fine. Knock on wood. So far, the women in the house, who usually are the ones of the weakest constitution that are always sick, they have. I mean, I'm not stereotyping. It's just a fact. They're the ones that go down sick. Excuse me, more than my son and myself. But in this case, the women stand strong so far. I don't know, maybe this sickness or whatever this bug is that's going around is immune to being high maintenance and complaining, but whatever it may be, they're not getting it. And
where the ladies at?
Right, exactly. Well, they're healthy right now, but Mason, I imagine by the end of the weekend, Mason will be at 100%. He certainly was trying to scam ways to figure out how to play this weekend, but that double line keeps showing up on the test. Either way, he's out. So you guys had the game. Chris, did you go to the game last night?
No, I was home.
Felt like there was more behind that, Dave. Right. Didn't there?
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been having problems with my back, so I can't stand for a lot. I don't want to stand for a long time. So,
really, upper or lower?
Like mid. Like I think
really?
I just pulled it.
His back is mid.
My back is mid.
Yeah, back issues are one of those getting old things that kind of sucks, isn't it? I've had it too, but it's lower.
Where you just wake up, it's like, oh, I am dying right now. What did I do? Oh, I just slept.
I slept
regularly.
Yeah, I did something in my sleep. There are signs that you're getting older that just. What was it the other? Oh yeah, my ear itched and I was scratching my ear, and I felt something weird in one of the ear pockets, and I explored and I realized, oh my God, and I just yanked out like a freaking 3-inch hair, one hair, just one random hair growing inside, like not the ear hole, but like the ear flap, I guess.
I know. It's like a magic trick.
It just like curled itself around in my little ear flap, and I'm like, what is going on here? And my wife insists that I have, and she's right. I have developed like 2 hairs at the end of my nose that if you look just right at my profile, you're already looking at a huge nose. But then you can see these 2 black hairs growing from the edge of my nose that I have now taken to doing probably the worst thing you can do is shaving. When I shave the tip of my nose. Who does that? And then I look at old people, one in particular, you and I both know, Jace, but I wouldn't blow him up on the air. And I've, like we all have ear and nose trimmers.
Yeah.
But have you ever been around the older people that just like, they don't care.
Yeah.
They let it go.
They should braid it.
It's like a party favor in their ear. They just, and I wonder if we're ever going to get to that where,
gross.
yeah, you just, and I don't know. I don't know. I've never been around. I don't know. Do women get ear hair? Is that just a guy thing? I honestly don't know the answer to that.
I don't feel like it happens as much.
I feel like it's like the occasional runaway hair that they would get that they would pluck. But like I've never seen my wife do any of that crap.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just pluck that at the end of your nose?
Because it makes my eyes water. I don't like it.
Okay.
It does. You pluck it. It's like a nose hair.
Yeah.
I want to pluck a nose hair, but you get the little thing, you're just digging around. It's only, but I guess it's the whole the ladies don't understand how hard we have it as guys.
Yeah.
All the maintenance we have to do. It's very difficult to be a guy, says somebody who has complete
Or it's good
knowledge.
to be a guy.
It's good to be a guy. I had not 1 ear hair. I had 2 ear hairs. Jose Hernandez is in the chat, 6 a.m. hearing about CD's ear hair. You are absolutely right. Look, it's Ear Hair Friday, everybody. We all
Gross.
This is what happens when you are the 13th highest rated morning show in the mid markets in the entire country, and we intend on continuing that today. We got a lot to get to, and it's been a couple weeks since I was around for a Friday Fun and Games. I am incredibly excited. Greg Papa, of course, is going to join us as he does each and every week for Niners at 9-ish, and we will go over this weekend's trap game, perhaps not. Dave Richard, as many of you are beginning week 1 of the fantasy football playoffs, he's going to join us at 7:27 as well. We've got Friday Fun and Games across talks with Styles and Watkins. We're going to preview the football stuff this weekend. We're going to post view, if you will, what the hell happened last night. Dear Lord on a cracker, what was that all about? Oh yeah, and the Sacramento Kings. They've won themselves yet another ball game against a top opponent. Up is down, down is up. I don't understand this team, and I don't want to. It's Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, Chris Verlaud back in the studio, leading off next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Floater in the lane, no good. Sabonis in heavy traffic, gets the rebound, gives to Fox, races up the floor, puts on the brakes, then drives to his left, stretches, reaches, scores with that stretch and reach. A 40-point night for De'Aaron Fox. 121-117, a 2-possession Sacramento lead with 2:13 and counting.
Yep, the Sacramento Kings get themselves a victory, 128-123. Jason, the Kings have not lost since signing Juan Toscano-Anderson. Was he the missing piece?
It looks like it. I mean, I think we can get not only playoff tickets, our ring-sized, and the parade route ready.
You know, I've been saying the Kings should be getting Juan Toscano-Anderson for 2 years now.
Have you?
I have.
Anderson got tickets?
How did he get on the Kings?
And Chris, what is it about Juan Toscano-Anderson that made you think we should have gotten him for the last 2 years?
He's Mexican.
Okay. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 43 points, 16 to 18 from the line. And De'Aaron Fox, 41 points. Hey, Jason, and we don't have to give anything away, but I got to tell you, I found myself last night at the end of the game going over stuff and talking about it and making some notes and all that. Am I remembering correctly? Is today a very special episode of 3 in the Key?
I'm not giving away anything.
I honestly can't remember, but I have a feeling that I think one or all of us were incredibly close on one of the questions last night. But I guess that's why we got to stay tuned a little bit later. Almost as importantly, the Sacramento Kings won. They continue to win against top competition. And Jason, it might be recency bias. I'm trying to think of something different, but this is certainly in the argument for most entertaining game of the year. This is a fun game.
It was a good game. It was, and there's a lot to dissect that I know we'll get into, but you know how we keep saying, man, the Kings just can't beat a team like the Pelicans. Well, maybe that's what we would be doing if we were in Oklahoma City morning radio. It's like, why can't they beat the Kings? That's 8 in a row for Sacramento over OKC, and OKC's good. And it's just the Kings seem to have the right answers at the right time against this team.
I don't know if the Kings fans are the first to do this, but actually it picked up national attention from a couple of beat writers around the league that every time Josh Giddey touched the ball, he was absolutely booed off the floor. And I haven't watched enough of OKC's road games to determine if we're the first, but I don't remember seeing any national writers point out any other crowds doing that. So in that case, once again, Sacramento Kings fans leading the way.
I did hear from the OKC radio that it's been happening, but I was taken back by that. Like when the game started, I went, whoa. I mean, I understand, but I did not think for the crowd to be in unison from the get-go. I thought that took me back.
Look, it's a very serious subject, and we don't want to make light of it. Right. But and then I say, however, no, I think it just goes, it underscores how wonderful this fan base is in the following way, especially. Josh Giddey on the floor has done nothing to upset any Sacramento King fan. Excuse me, nothing. But our fan base just doesn't go to the games and clap and move on. They read, they obsess, they know the sport very well. They're very aware of what's going on. So interesting, they get a win. Cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Will Clapp has been their starting center since, and now it's their backup Brendan Hymas, who is in at center. And an interception on the first pass. It's John Jones. Amazing. It's a pick six. Amazing. Lincoln now breaks the record. Amazing. The highest point total in Raiders franchise history is Jack Jones.
I watched the first, couple minutes of the game. It was very nondescript. I honestly don't even remember what I did or did not see, other than the fact that it was, the Raiders and Chargers.
Yeah.
And laughing with my wife was like, Easton Stick. What? Is that really his name? And so that was the most exciting part of the game was explaining to my wife that was in fact Easton Stick's name.
Yeah.
I then flipped to some basketball, then into the Kings, and the whole thing was I'll just box score this one. Like, we're not spending a lot of time on the Raiders and Chargers. And then all of a sudden I'm flicking through Twitter and it's like, oh, it's 42-0. What did I think it was Darren Ravel was like, the over under on this game is 38.5, something like that. The Raiders, actually, I think he said the Chargers. I think he messed up, but the Raiders had 42 points at the half. I went, wait, what? Go to ESPN, go to ESPN.com. I'm looking it up. And then next, I had to have the game on the rest of the time on a split screen. If I'd have told you, if I'd have told you yesterday that Easton Stick was going to be 23 of 32 for 257 with 3 touchdowns, I think we both would have thought that he had obviously a career game in his first start, but he led the Chargers to a nice victory in Vegas for a team that didn't score a touchdown. Didn't score a point last week at home against the Vikings. And they come out yesterday and they score 63.
Yeah, this was a weird one for me too, in the sense that I was sitting there courtside or, down in the court before the game and was looking at my phone and went, oh yeah, the Raiders are on right now. Let me just check the score. And so when I looked, it was early in the game. I want to say there was about 9 minutes left in the first, and it was 0-0. I'm like, oh yeah, this might be the final score. I mean, and I had no context. I had no idea what was going on in the game. Went to the media room. There's a group of us eating, and our guy Alan Stiles says, hey, it's 21-0 Raiders, still first quarter. I'm like, yeah, right. And he goes, no, I'm serious. And in my mind, I went, wait, didn't I look and it was 0-0 with about 8 minutes left?
Yeah.
And then it was 21-0. I think when we got upstairs for the pregame, might have been something like 28, I think, at the time, which we couldn't believe. And then literally that segment, the Raiders scored. Then in the break, the Raiders scored again. I'm like, it is 42 at half. Yeah, it just kept getting worse. They scored first to start the second half. That was they saved it all for one game.
They really did. And there were some records set, as you heard in the call, but beyond that, for the Raiders last night. And it's funny because it goes back, Jason, a little bit to what we had this conversation yesterday. There's no reason, unless you're a diehard Charger or Raider fan, there's no reason to watch last night's game. Yet we knew it would still pull numbers, even though it was on Amazon Prime. But what did we talk about? It's any given Sunday, any given Thursday. You never know. We talk about this going into weekends where there aren't that great football matchups that it's like one of those fight cards. Styles make fights. You can't ever tell. And needless to say, probably not necessarily for Charger fan, but that was quite the entertaining game last night, including one of the best pick sixes I've seen in a long time.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
Purdy in the gun. McCaffrey comes in jet sweep motion across. Play action to Debo. Rocket to throw back and throw a deep ball down the middle. Caught by Brandon Ayuk again. Another big chunk for Ayuk.
Ah, okay. I thought there was more there, Greg Papa. Well, we'll hear more from him just after 9 a.m. Niners at 9, Greg Papa. Niners in Arizona taking on the Cardinals, a 12-point favorite in Arizona. And what you've been hearing all week out of Ninerland in Santa Clara is things like, make no mistake, Arizona's far better than their record. We're not taking them lightly. And I know a lot of that's just media speak, but you do kind of get the feeling that we talked about it yesterday, Jason, this team knows what they have cut out for them, knows what they have to do. And you hope they can go into this game with as much focus as they had against the Eagles, as much focus as they'll have for Baltimore. Probably not quite possible to do that, but if they're at 90%, they're going to run away with this game.
Yeah, exactly. You can never predict how a game will go, but we like to do it based on, hey, if there aren't injuries or who's ever scheduled to play and people play close to their best, the Niners are a better team. That's not like this breakthrough statement, but they've got to avoid all those things. Avoid the trap, avoid slow starts, avoid, hey, you're a turnover away from being in trouble. You just don't want to be in any of those positions. So do what you do best, scheme, game plan, make this one a no-doubter, and move on to next week.
One note, we'll get to a lot of other things. Brandon Ayuk played 17 games last year, and he had a career high of 1,015 yards. He still has 5 games to go this year, assuming he's healthy and plays and all. He just passed his career high last week. He's at 1,053 yards with 5 games to go. So I think it's quite interesting to take a look at him and see that he really has, amongst others, developed into a true blue Pro Bowl wide receiver #1. And, oh, by the way, you have Kittle, you have Debo, you have Christian McCaffrey. So we'll get to a lot of those numbers today. We'll get to breaking down this game. And really, honestly, if something does go wrong, God forbid, for the Niners, what would it be? But when we come back, we'll start to recap last night's game between the Kings and Thunder, including Coach Brown calling himself out as to why he belongs on Sactown the Fool. We'll tell you why next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right, backwards pass led by Juszczyk, a block there. Hurdles a man, 10-5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. After some patchy areas of fog this morning, mostly cloudy skies will turn partly cloudy today, with temperatures warming into the low 60s and winds staying light. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Okay, but what about the last of the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
The savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 10 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor card track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey,
Hey, it's Deuce and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you got last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000. So lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
On this weekend, just want to remind people because sometimes it flies a little under the radar, but I was just watching the highlights from the Pro-Am that just got underway in Orlando. It's the PNC Championship. What's interesting about this golf tournament, you'll remember, is it's a family golf tournament where 2 family members team up, and both Tiger Woods and Charlie Woods are out there, and that's obviously the main draw. Charlie Jason, it's one of those even the good ones do it, even though he's better now than you and I will ever be or ever were at golf. Charlie hit a worm burner, got about an inch off the ground and just dropped his club, and you saw it was going straight for the bunker, and then of course, because he's a Woods, it went around the outside of the bunker, curved directly to the green, and landed right on the fringe. And it's just one of those shots that's not going to happen for you, me, or anyone else we know. But honestly, it's one. I watched it last year and the year before. It's incredibly entertaining to watch Tiger Woods' son, probably for all the wrong reasons. The poor kid's got so much pressure on him, but golly, is he good for his age?
The game of golf.
And now his frame is starting to catch up. Now he's getting bigger. He's just getting, older and stronger, and you're just like, oh man, now he's going to be able to do all the other things as people develop. But to your point, Dave, like you and I, it would be the opposite. It's like I would hit a worm burner and go, oh, this might work. Oh no, never mind. It went in the water.
No, you're almost there. You and I would absolutely nail a 3-wood, just nail it nuts, just right on the nuts. And it would be this perfect flight towards the green, maybe hit a par 5 and 2, and then like a leaf from an oak tree would be in the way, and it would hit it and then spiral over, bounce off a duck's face and land in the water. That's what would happen.
That was absolutely insane.
It was absolutely insane. So was last night. Last night was fantastic. Mike Brown had some comments after the game in which he called himself out for maybe need to be on Shackton the Fool. Mike, what did you do, Coach?
Yeah, I'd like to start this off at just say that I don't know if Shaq is just if he's still doing the Shackton the Fool, but I probably deserve to be on his Shackton the Fool list after tonight's game. Is the worst freaking challenge I think anybody could have ever done in their career. I let my emotions get the best of me, and I glanced at the bench, and I don't even know what the bench said. And usually I at least look at them to see if they say yes or no before I override them at times, which I have done. I didn't even get to that. I glanced at the bench and I said, screw it, I'm going to do it, because I was emotional. So I want to get that out. I want to acknowledge that from the jump street. Great win.
I know he goes on to say more, Dave, but that's the crux of him calling himself out. And honestly, I think that's been one of the things he's been the worst at is challenges. I mean, he's poking fun at it. They won. I thought it was a terrible decision. And he's saying, look, I got emotional. The win there, because there wasn't a foul called. So the best thing that could have happened is Kings got possession.
Right.
They didn't save a foul. And then the way the game went, Coach Dagnall of OKC calls 2 brilliant challenges that, because he got the first one right, gets a second one. Those were critical. I mean, that almost could have cost not the Kings challenge, but the 2 that OKC did, and maybe not having a challenge later. It's all, fun and games when they win. But honestly, I don't think Coach Brown's been great at challenges.
He hasn't. And I think there's a lot to break down here. And I've been waiting to have this conversation for a while now. First off, there are 2 ways a coach should call a challenge. For those who don't know, and I think most do, there is a specific person behind the bench on the coaching staff whose job, one of their jobs, is when the coaches turn to them in the moment, in which a lot of times that moment is a few split seconds, if you will. That person is supposed to, in that tiny amount of time, whoever that assistant is, usually behind the bench, they're supposed to look at the monitor they have and determine whether or not it's a good challenge. So imagine the pressure, first off, on this person, where you have to, the coach turns to you with this exasperated look on his face. You're in the moment, and you've got to tell him in like literally 3 seconds whether to challenge the thing or not. And then God forbid you're wrong, the glares you're going to get afterwards. So that's number one. A coach should not be determining on his own. The head coach should never be determining on his own whether or not to make that challenge. That's the job of your back staff. Except, I think there is an exception for the occasional, all right, we're in the 4th quarter, we're late in the game, whatever, and I need to protect my star who is begging me to challenge. And this star never, ever, it's not Buddy Hield who says replay every single thing. It's, a guy like Harrison Barnes, let's say, who's jumping up and down and showing all the, and emoting in crazy ways for Harrison, saying, no, it was off his foot. Every once in a while, I understand as a coach, you have to placate your players and specifically your stars and go ahead and maybe challenge when you don't want to. But Jason, the reason why I've been waiting to talk about it is to figure out an appropriate time. I had a conversation a few weeks ago with someone who knows things.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Kings. And we had a very specific talk about the challenges and almost like, don't ever challenge anything in the first half. Like, why challenge anything in the first half? Just save it. Just save it. There's so much basketball to go. It almost makes no sense. We ended up having this really deep, like 30-minute conversation and without telling tales out of school. And I don't know how other teams do it. I can tell you with the Kings, there's a very, very specific messaging that goes into challenges and no surprise, Jason, there's some mathematics involved.
Mm-hmm.
So in the game of soccer, for example, or football, there's a stat that's like, Chris, help me out. It's like, I think it's expected goals or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so basically what it tracks is let's say a player, when he shoots from this part of the field, right side of the box, there's a 0.2 chance that he's going to score a goal there. So the expected goal rate is 0.2, meaning if you take that shot mathematically 5 times, you should score a goal one of those times. You have a 1 in 5 shot. The philosophy that the Kings employ on challenges is that timing generally should not matter. That it's almost like the Jiffy Lube drive of the game that we'll get to at 7:45. If you wait until the mid 4th quarter, you may not have a challengeable situation. And overall, a possession is a possession. A point is a point, whether it's in the 2nd quarter, the 3rd quarter, or the 4th quarter. Now, you and I can argue, and I think we would both argue the same way, that a 2-point reversal in the 4th is worth more than the 2nd, but you don't always have that lined up. So the coaches are encouraged to throw timing out the window when it comes to making their challenges. And quite simply, if you feel like you're going to get a successful challenge, regardless of when it is, challenge it, because over the space of the entire season, you're going to end up having reversed more plays if you're doing it correctly than if you pick and choose your challenges. So there is a whole dynamic to this thing. I'm not here to tell you whether it's right or wrong, but I'm saying really, really smart nerds have spent a bunch of time on this, and they're not just challenging willy-nilly. There's actually an organizational philosophy that goes into this thing, and I thought it was actually pretty fascinating.
Yeah, but I guess like for all the rest of us that don't know all the metrics and the numbers and the thought, like you just see the end result. And I feel like more times than not right now, the Kings have been on the wrong end of that.
I agree with you. But I also think it's important, unfortunately, to understand. And I honestly don't know who, I truly do not know the person that is in charge of the challenges.
Well, I know it's literally a look to the bench, and there's several people right behind the bench that have the iPads, and they're like looking, and some have the ability to have replay. And the refs are generally going to give a couple of beats to give the coach a chance. But that one, as Coach Brown just said, we played the clip. I mean, he looks back. He didn't like the call. He got emotional, and he just did it. And that's why he's calling himself out on
Well, and he should. There's no excuse for that, and that's exactly what you shouldn't do. Again, Mike Brown should never be making the decision unless he's specifically deferring to a player and doing it as a CEO type of deal, a philosophical type of thing. But the blame falls, honestly, you have to put it here. The blame falls on Mike Brown if he jumps over the chain of command, and the blame falls on whatever staff. And it's not a perfect science. It's like umpiring or reffing. It's not perfect. It's a very difficult job. But if they're losing challenges, that's an issue mostly, I would say, with the staff in charge of recommending to Mike whether or not he should challenge a play. And that's something, I don't know, maybe they should. And honestly, Jason, I'm going to find out the answer to this question. Wouldn't it be fascinating to know whether or not the members of the coaching staff actually practice this?
They might.
If they're actually in those situations where they have like flashbangs going, where it's like, okay, boom, you make the call, you have 2 seconds, boom, 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 boom. Because honestly, and I know we got a break here, but this is fascinating to me, because I think that being able to determine whether or not a play is challengeable or not, I think that's actually almost like an athletic skill. You have to be able to have the instincts and the eyesight. It almost lends itself to the fact that would it hurt you much to pay $40,000 to an ex-NBA referee to put them on your bench and make them in charge of whether or not you challenge a play?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thought process, and it makes you wonder, too. I'm sure the fact that they review every call they've done, I'm not talking about referees' calls like, hey, we decided to run this play in the fourth quarter. Did it work? They go through all that self-assessment. I'm sure they do the same thing on what they challenged, why didn't they challenge other things, the execution of all that stuff. I'm sure they do that.
Well, it's like what we do. We do that practice all the time when it comes to the show, and that's why we're able to hit our break so easily and perfectly, which we will do right now. When we come back, the Raiders absolutely demolish the Chargers. The autumn wind is a blowout. We'll look at that. Also, Saturday games for the very first time. We'll highlight some of the big games this weekend, not including your San Francisco 49ers. We'll take a break. We're right back on your home of the Niners, SactownSports.com.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey there, listen up, Sacramento. Ready to make this holiday season unforgettable? Well, we've got something that'll have you jingling all the way. Picture this, a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $279 per month plus tax with no money down. No, I did not stutter. No money down. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. Elk Grove Kia is spreading the joy this Christmas, and we're making it easier than ever for you to drive home in style. So why wait? I will say it again. Head on down to Elk Grove Kia and drive home your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS today with absolutely no money down. Elk Grove Kia is your go-to destination for top-notch quality and unbeatable service. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or go to elkgrovekia.com. $279 plus tax, zero customer cash and signing residual of $10,000 per claim, $250 case and 10K per year prices per mile over zero security. Enter one of the subject requires $7. Elk Grove Kia.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry are here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Might get one more playoff here before the end of the third. 13 seconds in the quarter. Stick gets the snap. He's going to throw. Eyeing down the middle. Now pressure off the edge. Hey, drill from behind. Ball is out. Coach with the shot. And big man running. John Jenkins is going to score. Jenkins picked it up, and he had 40 yards of turf with nobody chasing him. It's a lineman's dream, and the Raiders have 55 at the end of the third.
Make it make sense. I can't. The Raiders score 0 against that vaunted Vikings defense. And they take on the Chargers, the third most popular team in Los Angeles, but they were in Vegas in this case. Charger fans don't even travel to Los Angeles to watch the Chargers, much less Vegas. And you have Aiden O'Connell, who it was thought that it was either going to be him or Jimmy Garoppolo. It ends up being him. He has a career game. And he had the second best quarterback rating on the team behind Jacoby Myers, who was 2 of 2 for a touchdown. Aiden O'Connell, 248 through the air, 4 touchdowns. No Josh Jacobs either. And Zamir White, Brandon Bolden, they both end up getting in the end zone. The Raiders rush for 124 yards. Also, there's an interesting situation going on with the running backs in LA that's been developing. Austin Eckler, just 5 carries, tied for second on the team behind Isaiah Spiller, who had 16 carries for 50 yards. Eckler was a first-round pick for most people in fantasy football. Easton Stick starts for the injured Justin Hebert and goes 23 of 32, 3 touchdowns, and that pick. And I gotta dude, that pick was one of the coolest interceptions I've ever seen. Jack Jones with the pick 6. You don't see that often, so it's not like he can't fault Stick for that, but that was a once in a lifetime interception. I thought the young quarterback who had a vaunted huge college career at North Dakota State, where Trey Lyles and friends went, Carson Wentz, Trey Lance, and he's the best quarterback numbers wise to ever go there. He gets his first start. Jason, I thought he acquitted himself well. He just got steamrolled by a Raider team led by Aiden O'Connell and Zamir White.
Yeah, we said it yesterday, like, what do we even expect from this game? Could it be something that maybe it's a great game or there's something notable? you just don't know. And I mean, there's no way anybody could have predicted this. It just got so lopsided, so out of hand. Finding out, I think it was like an hour before the game that Jacobs was out. And so it's like, oh, this game is probably going to even be worse. And it's going to go down as just one of the more memorable games for just a lot of reasons, just how bad the Chargers were and how amazing it just all connected on one day for the Raiders.
It was. And it goes to the whole, we were talking about Antonio Pierce and whether or not he would keep his job. This certainly goes, Jason, a long way towards that. Brandon Staley, on the other hand, I'm surprised they let him get on the plane. It's just simply a matter of, is he getting fired today or is he getting fired at the end of the season? But when he was actually asked about it, Chris, I don't know if you have that audio in today's audio. I feel like you might. But he was actually asked about whether or not he should keep his job. And he's saying, yeah, I think I deserve to keep my job. Like, when you start getting asked questions like that, are you meeting with the owner? The media is really just preparing themselves for a firing, which really seems imminent. Fair or not, seems very imminent in Chargerland.
I'm trying to see if I can find it here, Dave. I think I might have something here. So you're talking about Staley. Let's see. Yeah, this might be it.
Do you expect to be the coach here tomorrow?
I don't know that.
Do you think you should be?
Yes.
Why?
I know that what I've done here for 3 years, and I know what I put into this, and I know that we're capable of going. I know the type of coach that I am. I believe in myself. But again, this isn't about me. This is about a group that's hurting in there. We got to get some rest, and we got to get ready for Buffalo.
Look,
bring on the Bills.
The guy just got boat raced, and you're not going to have your answers all practiced out. I give him full leeway for that. But when you're asked, are you going to be the coach of this team tomorrow? And you say, I don't know. I think that is an incredibly insightful statement on what's been going on behind the scenes and how tenuous his job is, according to him. That sounds like a guy that fully understands he could be fired today.
Yeah, I mean, then you go 2 seconds on social media and people are like, is he fired at halftime? Is he going back on the team plane? Like, there's two arguments here. One, you've made it this far. There's 3 games to go. You could just finish the year. There's probably no way he makes it next year. Or do you just start it earlier and see what else you have? Is there someone on staff you're looking at and say, hey, maybe the last 3 games are better under this person? It just, in the end, Dave, I just can't imagine, no matter what they do to finish, him coming back next year.
No. And look, and a lot of times it's not even him. It's not even the coach. You just need... And in this case, I actually do think it's the coach. But,
yeah,
a lot of times you just need a change of scenery. The Chargers aren't exactly the world's most successful franchise. And then you move on to the rest of the week in the NFL, Jason Ross, as that officially kicked off week 15 as we come down the stretch of the NFL season. And for the first time, again, I told you, we talked about this is one of the first harbingers of 100-degree days is when you get Saturday football after college football. And we've got 3 matchups, of which, if you're going by Vegas line, the biggest favorite on the Saturday games is Detroit hosting the Broncos. They're favored by 4.5. Vikings.
That's not a bad game, though.
No, I don't think so at all. You've got 2 teams above 500. As a matter of fact, all 3 matchups on Saturday are teams above 500, although
doesn't feel like it.
Well, exactly. Out of the 6 teams playing, 5 of them are 7-6.
Yeah.
And one of them is 9-4, but you've got the battle of backups who are trying to make a name of them for themselves. Folsom's Jake Browning will host the Vikings. Then you have the Steelers and Colts in Indy. And then you have Russell Wilson versus Jared Goff in Detroit. And again, Detroit favored by 4.5. Saturday, what a day, Jason. You're going to have NFL football starting at 10 a.m. And this is exactly how it should happen. You got the 10 a.m. game, Vikings-Bengals on the NFL Network. Then, again, NFL Network, which has all 3 games, go Steelers-Colts at 1:30. And then they go 5:15 Broncos-Lions. So you have this steady dribble of football spaced out all day long on top of that. And I know nationally this is a big deal. Utah visits Sacramento at 7 p.m. that night. And, oh, by the way, at 7 p.m., you have a UFC in which there's a championship fight between Leon Edwards and Colby Covington. Colby Covington is a guy that has definitely embraced the role of heel, and the MMA world was kind of very much taken aback yesterday at the press conference when Colby Covington said to Leon Edwards, who he'll be fighting tomorrow, he said he's going to take him into one of the 7 circles of hell. And I'll be sure to say hi to your dad there. His Leon Edwards' father was murdered years ago when Leon was young. That was even for the UFC. It'll unfortunately probably sell a few more pay-per-views, but that's about as over the line as anything I've heard since some of Conor McGregor's comments towards Floyd Mayweather when they were prepping their fight. So you've got a lot of great sports happening Saturday, and then that leads us obviously into NFL Sunday.
Yeah, but as you said, I mean, the national audience will be Kings Jazz. I mean, that's what everybody's worried about Saturday.
Yeah, and coming up here in just a second, 3 for Madness, which we'll get to in a couple segments. There seem to be rumors of players that might be available, including not just 1 but 2 on the Jazz. So we're going to have to figure out whether or not those are attractive players at all, not just looks-wise, of course, but fit-wise for your Sacramento Kings. We'll take a break here. When we come back, Keon Ellis. I was a little disappointed he didn't get the throne last night, but then I saw Malik Monk's picture in the throne, and I realized all was well. In fact, that should just be renamed the Malik Monk throne. But Keon Ellis, the two-way guy, had a career night last night. We'll hear from Mike Brown along with Keon after his game. Certainly a vital part of the Sacramento Kings victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder now number 3 in the division. They had been on a nice little run there. They still are, let's be honest. But now your Kings have won 6 of 10. Your Kings are the 5 spot in the West, and your Sacramento Kings are the only team not in the bottom 4 with a negative point differential. Someone make it make sense. We'll come back with Keon Ellis next.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. After some patchy areas of fog this morning, mostly cloudy skies will turn partly cloudy today, with temperatures warming into the low 60s and winds staying light. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
If the lights in your home flicker whenever you plug in the toaster or the breaker flips when you use the microwave, let us fix that. Bonnie's offering a free electrical panel inspection so you'll know exactly what's going on. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers keep on winning this holiday season, sporting a 5-game win streak since the bye week. San Francisco took care of Seattle in Week 14, 28-16. Quarterback Brock Purdy had a career high in passing yards last Sunday, throwing for 368 yards. The Red and Gold are now the first team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot this season, currently holding the number 1 seed in the NFL.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Keon was big. He's been big ever since we gave him minutes. He just doesn't seem to get rattled out there. And teams continue to leave him open. He shot 40%, I think, or from the 3 in the G League last year, or close to it, if not around that number. And, he had a lot of open looks tonight, and he knocked them down. We have faith or confidence, however you want to call it, in him, especially when his feet are set and he's shooting wide open catch and shoot threes. But heck of a game from him on both ends of the floor, and he could have easily gotten the defensive player of the game. But Malik with the 2 verticalities and taking that charge is big. What a block by Keon, man. Oh, wow.
Fox is letting the ball roll all the way across the midcourt line. Now picks it up. Starts to move left. Drives right. Gives it up to Keon. Heat check for 3. He's got another one. That's 5 from the two-way dynamic number 23. Keon Ellis, 17 points, which I believe may be a career high. Yes, his previous best was 15.
Yep, that's an NBA player right there. I think we know that. Keon Ellis in 28 minutes. And it's almost, I don't want to say any offense you get out of him is a bonus, but he's on the floor largely for defense. So the fact that he hit 5 out of his 7 threes, Jason, 6 of 8 overall, with that 17 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, a steal, a block, did not turn the ball over last night. I'm not going to say if he could do that every game, but if he could do that or something like that every game, that's your now you're looking at a Davion Mitchell replacement.
Yeah, and look, we have been trying to figure out Davion's role here for this team, and he's kind of that guy that can defend and hopefully give you some offense. Well, it seems like when they went to when Coach Brown went to Keon Ellis, he's playing a taller, bigger version of Davion, and then Dave to get that bonus offense. I mean, he's just super efficient. Didn't take very many shots, but still got to that point total yesterday. He does defend well. And this is what we talk about in how you get better as a team. We always talk about that, right? You draft well, and the Kings over the years didn't do that well, but they've done that better. Free agency, you kind of hit the right notes on who you add to your team, certainly trades. And the other one is players have to get better. And we've seen Fox grow and become a superstar. That's player development. Well, this is a different level of that, where Keon Ellis is kind of a two-way guy, second round. But like, where's he going to fit in? I don't know, but the organization just wants to take a look at him. And Mike Brown, I honestly have to come correct on this from my side, Dave. I thought when Mike Brown said after that Houston awful game, he's like, he kept highlighting Keon and guys that played the right way at the end of the game. I thought, well, he did, but they got killed. And that was the end of the game. I don't think that really matters. Honestly, that's how I felt. And he started playing him more, and that game sparked him. And now Keon's stayed in the lineup, and good for him. He's developed, and it's been fun to watch.
76 of the team's 128 points came from De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and Keon Ellis. So you're getting tremendous guard play. But once again, you had 2 guys in your starting lineup in Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter that went a combined 4 of 15 for 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 turnovers. They won the ball game. You could say that on any given night, somebody's going to step up. But even in a win, you know, I don't want to cloud it, but I think we need to continue to keep an eye on this situation. The fact that they're able to not just win, but beat good teams, really getting next to nothing out of Barnes and Huerter offensively in their combined 41 minutes, that says something to the depth and to Monty McNair and Mike Brown, especially pulling the trigger and pulling those levers. But you need better production out of 40% of your starting lineup.
I would agree. And I mean, I think the key though, and we said this yesterday, like, I think you asked me, how do the Kings win this game? And I said, the non-negotiables are Fox and Sabonis. Well, those 2 guys were good. And if you get that, then you need at least 1 to 2 more that play at a high level. Ideally, it's Murray and Barnes and Huerter.
Yeah.
Last night, Murray was good, though he was in foul trouble a lot of the night. And then you got Keon Ellis and Malik Monk. So they got it in other ways. I think the coach didn't force that. What did Huerter play?
Huerter played 20 minutes.
Yeah, and Barnes was 21. And that was Barnes played the first 6 minutes of the game. That was it. And I go, oh, man, it's kind of a message being sent there. But I think when Barnes' second run through, didn't have the most amazing game at all, but I felt like his 2 offensive rebounds were critical. But, yeah, you want more from him. You want more from Huerter, but at least they got more from 2 others. The problem for this team to me is if you get that Barnes and Huerter game and Ellis and Monk weren't good, that was a loss last night.
Yeah, that was absolutely a loss for sure. Did not happen that way, though. Again, Keon Ellis, a career night, and had a chance to catch up with Keon post-game.
Oops, my fault, Dave. Not
No,
quite
I'm
ready
sorry.
for that.
I gave you like a split second to call it. Sorry.
Yeah, I need more than a split second.
Well, I can tell you while you're doing that, Sasha Vezenkov, 3 points in 10 minutes. Is the Sasha Vezenkov experiment over? Just kidding. But also Trey Lyles, 5 points, 7 boards in just 19 minutes, along with a block. You definitely got contributions all the way across the board, again, including Keon Ellis, who had that career night last night, and he spoke to the crew post game.
And I'm having a total meltdown here. So
did it crash?
No, yeah, but it's coming back. It's coming back. So we can still talk more about Keon. But honestly, I do have a thought with you on that.
Yes.
Do you think he's done enough now in this stretch? I mean, to really stay here and stay in this rotation. I don't know what would get him out at this point.
Somebody's going to have to push him, and somebody's going to have to push him out of the lineup. Look, he's 23 years old. He had 17 points last night against the Clippers. He had 3 points in 12 minutes. He had 3 points in 15 minutes against Brooklyn. Then he had 10 points in 17 minutes. You know, I think he definitely bought himself more minutes, but also sometimes players have nights. He's going to have to put together. And Jason, he may not get 28 minutes every night. In fact,
right.
I'm certain he's not going to get 28 minutes every night as of right now. But not only is he going to have to consistently put together efficiency in the minutes he's given, but on top of that, it's almost like, the Niners don't need any help to get the 1 seed. They control their own destiny. Well, Herter and Barnes still control their own destiny. They are the starters right now. So it's got to be a combination of Keon Ellis making the most with his minutes and also relying on those guys in a weird roundabout way to either have rough nights or just to get pushed out. And we've seen this before. We've seen this with other teams, Jason. We've seen really good teams elevate two-way players, second-round picks, undrafted players that end up being fantastic NBA players. It's not like this is unprecedented. This isn't Brock Purdy we're talking about. We're talking about a guy who very likely who could be a starter in the NBA, but I think he's got a ways to go.
Yeah, this is a good story. We like these kind of stories. It's been fun to watch him grow. And here was Keon postgame, Dave, talking about how high right now his confidence is.
Confidence definitely high. I mean, regardless of, if I have a game like this or not, guys are still telling me, to shoot it, still helping me on the defensive end, even, when I'm in at the point guard spot, trying to help me with what players we're going to run, spots to be at, what to look for. Confidence definitely high. Shout out to the team for definitely helping me, but yeah, for sure.
And to me, Dave, it's not only that his confidence is high. I think he's taking the right shots and there was a couple times, I think, when he got introduced into the starting lineup when Fox was out, and then it was kind of been in the rotation. Understandably, I felt like he was a little bit more reserved. It's like, look, I'm not going to screw up out here. Now I'm making the right plays out here and adding to the team. So it's going to be tough to get him off the floor.
More on that as the games develop, but certainly a great story from last night. We will take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness brought to you by Fire Wings. Don't forget, Dave Richard is coming up in about 15 minutes. You're going to need Dave's help. Of course, we all do for the fantasy football playoffs that many of us are starting this weekend, or actually maybe started last night in the Thursday night game, although I highly doubt many of you were starting Aiden O'Connell or Easton Stick. 3 for Madness, the Raiders, what the heck is going on with them? Sporting events this weekend, what are you most stoked for? And we'll go over some potential Kings that are currently on the market with other teams right now. See if you think any of them are a great fit. We'll do all that in just 1 minute.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, Dave Richard will join us here in just a few minutes. Coming up next to talk a little fantasy football. Right now, Christopher Lodds got the throne, if you will. 3 for Madness. Christopher, question 1.
Are the Raiders secretly this good, or are the Chargers just this bad?
I think on any given night, you're going to have something crazy happen if you put it all together. And I think on top of that, the Chargers are just broken. And Justin Herbert going down, I think it was the last straw for them. That's just a broken team. It was nice to see Easton Stick do the most with his opportunity, but this was just a situation where the Chargers, whose defense is not, I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad. It just seems like this is a team that knows their season's over and that knows that their coach is on the way out the door, that Brandon Staley this looks like a team whose coach has completely lost the locker room and people are already making vacation plans. So I don't want to discredit the Raiders. They looked fantastic last night. We'll see what they do next week. I think I don't expect them to be putting up 60 points a week for sure. But I think when we see Las Vegas playing next week, did they find something last night? Did they build a little bit of confidence? Or was this a flash in the pan? And they'll figure that out real quick at Arrowhead against Kansas City, Jason.
Yeah, I think when someone asks, like, how would you best explain this game? And this question is, are the Raiders secretly this good, Chargers this bad? I think what happened here, this is my best guess, Dave, is the Raiders were embarrassed with the 0 points last week. They're not a great team, but I felt like they were locked in. And the Chargers, once they got down, they were already broken. They completely fell apart. And I don't think there's a big gap between a lot of teams in professional sports. But the teams that are playing for something, that are excited, that are engaged, that have their spirit and they're focused, are far more dangerous than if you lose any bit of that, your competitive drive. Like the Chargers just quit in this game. I mean, I don't know any other way to look at it. It didn't need to snowball as bad as it did for them. So it's a hard one to explain. I would not say the Raiders are this good. I think the Chargers just are this bad and this broken, as you said right now. It was an awful night for them.
Number 2, please.
Question 2.
What sporting event are you looking forward to the most this weekend?
You know, there's a lot of great options. This is another really, really good sports weekend. And I would even throw in, beyond the football and the basketball, like I said, fringe stuff, the father-son, Tiger Charlie Woods PNC champ. That's going to be fun to watch over the weekend.
Golf.
That's exactly right, Scott Marsh. I'm going to go with the UFC in Vegas 296 this weekend. Sacramento's Andre Fili is on the card. Team Alpha Male's Cody Garbrandt is on the card. Both of those are going to be free fights. Josh Emmett, again, Team Alpha Male, he's on the main card. Tony Ferguson, Patty Pimblett. Tony Ferguson's lost quite a few in a row, but either way, there's going to be fireworks in that fight. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, again, his best years are past him, but that's going to be a blast of a fight. And then, of course, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington for the welterweight title. It's been a while since I've been this excited for a card top to bottom. And obviously some of that's the Sacramento contingent in there. But I think if I had to pick one, that's the one I'd pick.
For me, I mean, anything Kings, I'm always going to say that. So Kings and Utah Jazz. The other one, though, Dave, is kind of an offshoot of the NFL. I'm not as thrilled about the Niners-Cardinals game per se, but I'm kind of getting into this MVP race. And so I want to see how Purdy performs individually. And then Dak. Dak plays the Cowboys too, or the Cowboys play the Bills, excuse me. So in that case, numbers aside, but Obviously, if the Cowboys get another win and beat a quality team like Buffalo, that may even vault Dak up higher. But if they lose, that could help Brock Purdy. So I'm kind of watching. I'm going to be watching some of that as another little sidebar event for the weekend.
I'm such a Buffalo fan this week. I'm such a hater. I just remember Buffalo to beat them 52-3 off of their big week last week. All right, number 3, please.
Question 3.
Both John Collins and Kelton Johnson are seemingly available. Do either of them fit with the Kings, in your opinion?
Yeah, so the rumors have it that John Collins is available. Keldon Johnson of the Spurs. And you now have questions about Lauri Markkanen on Utah as well. And we'll get a chance to see both of these guys. Remember, folks, today is the official beginning of trade season in the NBA, when a lot of contracts, including Harrison Barnes's, are now available to be traded December 15th. So you're going to start seeing a lot of this ramp up between now and February. I will say this, Jason, I thought John Collins would be a good fit for the Kings, and he's somebody that's been in my periphery, at least. I know a lot of the Kings fans for a long time now. I got to be honest, though, this is his first year in Utah. It seemed like every single month for the last 3 years in Atlanta, they wanted to trade him. On paper, he's a great fit for this team. He's a guy who can score. He's a guy who can shoot 40% from beyond the arc. He's a guy who can block a shot or two per game. But there's just too much inconsistency, too much injury, too much contract, if you will. He's making quite a bit of money over the next few years. In fact, I got the numbers right here, Jason. John Collins will make 25 this year, 27 next year, and then the year after on a player option. That's not crazy, but it's not great. Lauri Markkanen, I understand he's an attractive name, and he's almost like bigger Zach LaVine to me. They're both phenomenal players. They're both very, very good, and obviously would help offensively, but you're not getting anything defensively out of them. And I think that's the most important thing the Kings need to take the next step. I'll tell you the name that excites me. I'm over the moon on this one. If the Kings can somehow grab Keldon Johnson from the Spurs, he came up in that system. He makes $20 million this year, Jason, and then it's almost like a Ken Catanella contract. 19 next year, 17.5 both the next year and the year after. And if you're wondering about his numbers, this is a guy that averaged 22 points last year, a little over about 5 rebounds, 3 assists, but whose defense was really, really improving at one point. A guy who can still, I was reading scouting on him yesterday, he can still lose his man one-on-one. He's prone to that, but is an aggressive on-ball defender. He is 24 years old. He is in his 5th year. He's just developing. I would say keep an eye on Keldon Johnson. I feel like that's the type of contract and the type of player and the type of situation in San Antonio where he's really been kind of relegated to the bench a little bit lately. That's a name I would keep my eye on.
Yeah, I mean, of the two, I like Keldon Johnson better. I've never been that infatuated with John Collins, and I've always been kind of surprised by the love affair that Kings fans have had, at least social media Kings fans that have just, John Collins. It's bothered me that for about 4 years, you're right, that Atlanta wanted to trade him, and then now he's gone. Now he's at Utah. He just got there, and if they're already willing to do that, I don't know. Couple of antennas go up on that one for me a little bit. Keldon Johnson would be intriguing. Little bit undersized at the small forward. I think he's around 6'4", 6'5", but I think the Kings do need to make a move somewhere here, Dave, along the line, and I don't know exactly what it is, if it's a bigger one for a starter or if it's something else along the edges for more depth, but I would look at that wing 3-4 position, even getting Juan Toscano-Anderson. I don't ultimately know how they're going to utilize him, but Mike Brown knows him well. If that's a move to set up a further move. So I feel like something's cooking, and it may not be imminent, but I feel like after the trade deadline, this roster will be a little different.
I couldn't agree with you more. I would go as far as to, I can all but guarantee you Monty and crew are going to take a swing this year, and the only thing that's going to prevent them is if they just get screwed by the market. I know this. I know they're not going to make a huge move just to do it. It's going to need to be an upgrade to rattle this team. They'll make moves around the edges like Toscano-Anderson, but I think they very much are aware and want to make that, bring in that third, fourth star, if you will, or piece in that lineup to either upgrade the 3 or the 2. And as you and I've talked about before, you can slide Keegan Murray from the 4 to the 3 if you want. You can. I still have not ruled out, and we'll go back on this if it ever happens. I'm still very much of the idea that this team ultimately is going to want to slide Domantas Sabonis back to the 4 if the right person is out there, and to bring in a more defensive 5 to take some of that defensive pressure off of Domantas Sabonis. I know we don't talk about that enough, but I would absolutely not rule out them bringing in a defensive 5 again if it becomes available. I just don't think Domantas Sabonis necessarily might be your starting 5 long term, and I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but I agree with you. Between now and February, I think this team will look a little different. We'll take a break. When we come back, Dave Richards, CBS Sports fantasy football guru, he's going to join us. And you mentioned, Jason, between now and February, you think the front office is going to have something cooking. I can tell you for an absolute fact that right now the front office at Fire Wings has something cooking for your Friday, because there's so much going on this weekend. You don't have time to cook. You don't have time to cook, king or queen. You gotta get out there and find that flipping chicken wing. Go to Fire Wings right now. Locally owned, locally operated. And may I just say, humbly speaking, the best wings in the world. I know there's other chain wing restaurants out there, but I'd invite you to do a taste test. Just go find a common basic flavor, whether it's buffalo, whether it's garlic, whatever. Go find a common flavor and try them out, because these other places aren't soaking their wings in buttermilk overnight to ensure tenderness and a little bit of tang. And oh, by the way, you have 21 flavors at Fire Wings. You go to firewings.com right now, make your order, pick it up later, avoid the lines. That's right, go to firewings.com. Find the location nearest you. Tell them Carmichael Dave says, Fire Wings. Just wing it. David Richard joins us next.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Some might call me obsessed, but if you shop for holiday gifts at Kohl's, you get it. With their friends and family sale, I got 25% off already great deals, like 40% off comfy tech gear activewear. Then I saved 30% on Lego building sets, 30% on cozy Kookaburra by UGG bedding, and earn Kohl's cash. So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious why I love Kohl's, and why you'll love it too. Select styles, Lego and Kookaburra by UGG. Coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 17th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
I'm Craig Ashton of the Injury Law Firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Well, good morning. Don't forget Brandon Nunez joining us at the top of the hour to talk about your Sacramento Kings, one of our many Sactown Sports Kings in the nose. And Greg Papa, the voice of the San Francisco 49ers, will join us as he normally does each and every Friday at 9 a.m. right now from CBS Sports. The guru, the fantasy expert, the one you all listen to, the one that, if you pay attention, odds are you're going to win your league because he almost never gets it wrong. Mr. David Richard. Good morning, Dave.
I got it wrong with Austin Eckler yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, what's going on there?
He played his lowest percentage of snaps over the last 2 seasons, and he's on a Chargers team that basically folded after they turned over the ball 3 times in the first half.
Is he the biggest fantasy bust this year? Not counting injury.
Well, but the problem is that he did get hurt. He suffered, I think, a high ankle sprain in week 1, missed a bunch of time, came back from it, hasn't really seemed right. We thought maybe he turned a corner recently. And, short week matchup against the Raiders, that usually bodes well for running backs. And for whatever reason, for the reasons that I laid out, he did not do well. And so people that started him, this is fantasy playoff time, Dave. People who started him, they're pretty unhappy with what Austin Eckler gave them. So a little frustrating for him. Luckily, literally everybody else in the game did at least what was expected of them, if not went above and beyond.
Well, and, Dave, what you could say now is you might have got it wrong with Austin Eckler, but I'm sure on this week of backup quarterbacks and fantasy playoffs, you said start Aiden O'Connell. Was he your number 1 QB, I'm sure, on your list?
No, unfortunately, he was number 2 from the bottom on my quarterback list. Listen, I'll be totally transparent. A lot of people aren't. I'll be it. I thought that this was going to be like ugly offense, low scoring, nothing going right for them. Instead, it was high scoring, a lot of ugly defense, and nothing going right, especially the Chargers defense, man. They just, you could tell that they were checked out when John Jenkins, a 300-plus pound defensive tackle, is running 40 yards to the end zone without anybody near him. It was just ghosted at that point for the Chargers defense. So it is that time of year. Occasionally you will see games like this where, the offense puts the defense in bad positions and the game just totally gets out of hand early and the players play out the string. I don't expect that to be the case for the Chargers next week. I'm sure they're going to try and band together, perhaps motivated by an interim head coach, to go out and play the best game that they possibly can against the Buffalo Bills. They're going to get blown out because it's the Buffalo Bills, but I'm sure they'll try harder.
Dave, how long have you been doing this for?
Known what for?
How long have you been doing this job for? Fantasy football. How many years?
Fantasy football?
Yeah.
I thought you were about to get me with a pun. So
No, I'm just curious. I'm going somewhere with this. What year are you in now? You've been doing this a long time.
I started in 2003.
One of the things I simultaneously love, and as your friend, because I think it's fair to say we're friends, that always bothers me, and I think is incredibly, it's incredibly attractive to fantasy football owners, is through the years, you really, and I'm going back to your Austin Eckler thing, you really do take your picks personally. And you really do get emotionally involved and feel like if you look, most people in media and most experts on stuff like this, they get stuff wrong. Well, everybody gets stuff wrong. And I know you know that better than anyone. But what I can hear so often in your voice is that if you recommend a player and that player, through no fault of your own, does not perform, you actually take it personally. Where I'm going with this is, have you, in your opinion, gotten better about beating yourself up over the years?
No.
I didn't.
Being completely honest with you, Dave, no, I haven't.
Why? Why? I understand caring about your craft, but it worries me because I know this. I mean, I'm sharing stuff from off air with everybody on air, and Dave might kill me for this, but you really do take it. I understand taking your work personally, but it really does hurt you when you make a wrong pick, even if it's not your fault.
And it's not just that I'm, potentially hurting people's chances in fantasy. I realize that there are very few people that listen to one person when it comes to fantasy football. Most people, they download a couple of different podcasts. Each podcast has a couple of different people on it, and they're just kind of crowdsourcing opinions based on groups of people who they like. So I understand that, but it's more frustration with the research that I do, not having the time to like get into it as much as I really want to get into it. One of the things that I really try and focus my effort on is to predict the game script. How's the game going to go? Like, it's literally the first thing that I think about when I start to preview a game. And it's something now, you can read it in my lineup decisions column on CBSSports.com, that I try and do with almost every single game, every single week, is trying to predict, here's what I think the game is going to look like. And then here are the players you should start and sit because of it. And you can go back and you can read what I said about the Chargers and the Raiders game. And it's what I just told you 5 minutes ago. It's going to be low scoring and, some shaky offense. And it was the opposite of that, like I said. And I get mad about that. And I get especially mad when Ezekiel Elliott doesn't play great, doesn't run well. His efficiency is bad. But he has a couple of really good plays against a defense that was less prepared than I was. And they're the ones actually on the field. And Ezekiel Elliott, basically virtually depantses me because he has a monster game and I don't rank him as a top 20 type of running back. And I tell people, yeah, you should start, X running back or Y running back. DeAndre Swift last week. What a horrible call. And so, of course, I learn from it. And it's always, listen, Dave, I just told you, it's 20 years. It's ongoing learning. No one's ever good at this to the point where they say, all right, I'm done. I don't need to care about the game anymore. I am constantly studying the game. I care about this very, very much. And that's why when I do get it right, and there are definitely times where I get it right, Dave.
Of course.
I don't crow about it. I don't peacock all around about, look how smart I am. I knew that Mike Evans was going to be good. Dude, I call busts every year, and I don't know how sometimes I do it, but I do. And I don't want to crow about it. I'm just happy that I can do it, and I feel good about it.
Yeah.
It really comes down to my emotions and how I feel about the work that I put in.
Well, Dave, hopefully you can help one of our listeners that wants to know these questions for fantasy this week. CJ Stroud or Matt Stafford? And the follow-up is Christian Watson or Robert Wood?
You're giving me questions with players who aren't going to play this week, Jason.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud is unlikely to play, and even if he does, his receiving core is down to dust. I think Matthew Stafford goes off against the Commanders. He is my 6th-ranked quarterback. And then Watson is not expected to play for the Packers. It's going to be one more week. So I guess you're stuck with Robert Woods, unless you'd like a suggestion maybe on somebody that you can try and pick up off the waiver wire.
I'm sure
Take a look at, see if Odell Beckham is still there. Obviously, he's been playing well. Maybe Zay Jones of the Jaguars, if not this week against Baltimore, next week against the Tampa Bay Bucks, he could end up having a pretty good game. Wan'Dale Robinson, another wide receiver, had a pretty nice game for the Giants. I think he's going to continue to see targets against the New Orleans Saints. 3 guys that you should be able to find on your waiver wire right now.
Going back through some other questions as well as we talked to Dave Richard of CBS Sports. Here we go. TJ Hawkinson or David Njoku this weekend?
Hawkinson is my number 1 tight end, taking on a Bengals defense that's allowed a touchdown or 70-plus yards to a tight end. I believe it's all but 2 games this year. They struggle against tight ends. And going to Nick Mullins, he's a West Coast quarterback to the core. You'll remember his days with the 49ers. You'll remember him throwing to his tight ends in his days with the 49ers. I think he's going to continue to do that.
How about the week of the backup quarterbacks? Which one do you have ranked the highest on your list?
Of the backup quarterback, it's Joe Flacco. And it's just because he throws so much and he attacks downfield so much that there's just more opportunities for big chunk plays. Those chunk plays lead to touchdowns. Those chunk plays lead to fantasy production. That's what happened last week. He beat busted coverage against Jacksonville. That Jaguars defense really does not look good right now. And it's a tougher matchup against Chicago, but he would be my favorite. Jake Browning is next up on the list. I don't like how Jake Browning is getting his fantasy numbers. He's basically, you've heard of dinking and dunking. He's dinking and dinking down the field. His average depth of throw is under 5 yards. He's got a lot of short throws, but the players on his team are making moves for him. You can remember the Chase Brown play. You can remember the deep shot that he did take to Jamar Chase 2 weeks ago. Chase scored on that play. He would be next up. After that, it's Gardner Minshew, it's Will Levis, it's Nick Mullins.
Okay, because that was my next question. There's a text from somebody who has CJ Stroud asking about Will Levis's matchup against Houston. Yeah, that seems like it's a few folks down your list.
He's after 20 on my list as we sit here today. I think that he can connect with DeAndre Hopkins for a touchdown. Hopkins maybe trying to get a little bit of revenge against Houston. I think the Titans offense is probably going to have a decent day because the Texans offense won't be able to generate many yards or points if it's Davis Mills under center. And even if it's CJ Stroud, if there's no Nico Collins, we already know that there's no Tank Dell. Man, Dave, they're going to have a hard time putting up numbers as is, even with Stroud.
Which Niner do you like the best? Debo's been going off lately. Purdy's been good. I know you usually like all of them. Is there one you like better than others this week?
I mean, the answer is yes. They're playing Arizona. They should put up over 30 points. You want to start them all. I think McCaffrey is the number one guy. Debo after that. Ayuk after that. Purdy is a must-start fantasy quarterback at this point. I wouldn't be worried about his volume. His efficiency has been great, and the track record for quarterbacks against Arizona, at least in their last 3 meetings, the efficiency has been outstanding. George Kittle is the one that fantasy managers need to worry about a little bit, just because he's had 5 or 6 targets each of his last 3 games. Sometimes he has a big game and a touchdown. Sometimes he leaves it a little bit small. That's just the way that it works there when you're not one of the top guys in the offense, and Kittle's not that top guy, but he's still a startable fantasy tight end. I like other tight ends. We mentioned Hawkinson, Jake Ferguson, Trey McBride in the same game, and in PPR, Dalton Kincaid. I would start him ahead of Kittle.
All right, well, let's bring it all back to the forefront here before we plug what you're doing. Which would you say was more painful, Cristobal's call up 2017 against Georgia Tech, or your Eckler call last night?
Oh, the Eckler call was
really?
Pretty bad.
Come on, man. The Eckler call, David, the Eckler call was a call that pretty much anyone would have made because everything made sense, and everyone got screwed on that. Cristobal made one of the worst decisions up 20-17 against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and instead of kneeling, he ran a play that caused a fumble. You just can't compare the two, my friend.
See, I've been trying to block out that game from my mind, and I had done a great job for like the last month and a half, and now you've brought it all back to me, and I'm ready to start punching walls because of how terrible it was. And yes, of course, it was a much worse call than the Eckler call. Give me a break.
Well, while you're punching walls, where can people see you punch those walls and hear you punch those walls?
Hulk smash. We're on YouTube every morning. We've already recorded our start sit episodes for week 15. This is the precious week of the fantasy football season. First round of the playoffs for the majority of fantasy leagues. It's your opportunity to hear our opinions on who to start, who to sit, the rationale behind it. We touch on every player over 2 episodes. You can find it now by going to youtube.com/fantasyfootballtoday. Like and subscribe to the Fantasy Football Today podcast.
As Robin Williams said to Goodwill Hunting, it's not your fault. The best in the business, who takes your picks home with him every day, takes it personally. That's how hard he works. He accepts 0 failures. He steps up. He takes the blame. He doesn't put it on anyone else. And that's why he's been doing it for 20 years, and that's why he'll do it for 20 more should he wish. And if he's unlucky in his 401k, it's Dave Richard of the state of Florida. Dave, thank you so much. Good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you for another interesting segment. I bet you're still Carmichael raving mad about the Knowles being out of the college football playoff.
You know, it's funny because do you have any? Of course, you don't have any idea the amount of texts we've been receiving on our text lines bitching about how you did not have a Carmichael pun ready to go. So you brought it together.
Oh, I was saving it.
You were saving,
and it made it sweeter because you brought up the stupid kneel down from the Georgia Tech game.
It was a Carmichael save.
That's a Carmichael save. Thank you, David. Have a great week.
I'm working on one with Carmichael save. So
okay,
it's in my list, but I've got another one ready to go next week.
We're in the playoffs pretty soon.
We're talking next week.
We are. I believe we're talking next week, aren't we? Yeah.
I'm here if you are.
We're here. We'll see you in 1 week from today.
I'm. By the way, I'm never getting that honest with anybody on the air anywhere else.
Are you talking about our conversation earlier?
Yeah, never. Wouldn't do it. I'm on in Boston, DC. Would never go that deep with them. Wouldn't go that deep on our podcast.
Well, I would hope, we've talked about this off the air before, but I don't know. I actually don't care whether the listener thinks so or not, but I believe they do. I think sometimes it's important to get into the human behind the uniform. And, I've had my favorite part of our visits, Dave, through the years have always been, and we've talked about this, the philosophical aspects of fantasy football. So.
Yeah, mine too. That's why I'm comfortable with it here, but not with other shows. But I do stuff with the other shows that I don't do with you, and that's just the way it goes.
What? Like what? Yeah. What? When you're doing other
shows, we've got a speed round. We've got a bit where the host struggles to make the playoffs every year, and I've got to give him waiver ads, and he's in a tough league, and he never can find the players on his waiver wire. Yeah, this one I relish because one, I've been doing it forever, and two, because you care about the philosophy, you care about the why of fantasy football and fantasy analysis and football analysis. By the way, I picked the Raiders to win last night. My picks have been on fire.
Can you just tell me as we go? Can we finish this way? I know you do a ton of other radio shows. You're thinking about us though every time you're doing another radio. Like you're thinking about us while you're with them.
This got weird.
Oh, look at the time. I got to go. Thanks for having me on your show, Jason and Tim.
See you next week, pal. Take care. That's Dave Richard of CBS Sports. Things got weird. That's where we want it. When we return, what's on tap when we return? We have so much stuff going on this week, and I'm so excited. Well, let's get some post-game reaction, though, from the Kings' win over Oklahoma City. Malik Monk and Keegan Murray top the list. We'll do that next.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Hold on to your Santa hats because Elk Grove Kia is turning up the holiday heat with deals that'll leave you saying no money down. This Christmas, keep your wallet at home because Elk Grove Kia is making your dreams come true with 0 down payment. That's right, absolutely nothing out of your pocket to drive home in a brand new Kia today. Or if you're ready to slay the season in style, picture this: the award-winning 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, the hottest sled in town, for just $439 per month plus tax. You heard it right, only $439. So whether it's the sleek 2024 Kia Telluride or the no money down offer, Elk Grove Kia says 0 hassles and 0 worries. ElkGroveKia.com. Qualified applicant 0 down example spot number GK9133 48 monthly 0 down model number C3422 underwriting 4 monthly 439 plus tax 44.95 new signing 0 security deposit residual 33,352 and year December 11 GK91 expires 12
Elk Grove Kia.
I think we're lost again.
Wait, what does that sign over there say?
Caution wildlife crossing?
No, next to it.
If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. Ouch, I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers keep on winning this holiday season, sporting a 5-game win streak since the bye week. San Francisco took care of Seattle in Week 14, 28-16. Quarterback Brock Purdy had a career high in passing yards last Sunday, throwing for 368 yards. The Red and Gold are now the first team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot this season, currently holding the number 1 seed in the NFL.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered in valuable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. Friday, Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. Taking you all the way until 10 a.m. Jason, we're almost halfway there.
Yeah, we are.
How about that? In case, by the way, I haven't even mentioned it yet today because it just, again, we're used to it. But my son, after me being sick for the better part of the last week, actually started really pulling out of it yesterday. My son came down with COVID the night before last. So out of precaution, I am broadcasting from home, and we'll return to the studio on Monday, where Jason Ross will not be in studio. As a matter of fact,
Where
Jason,
am I going?
well, that's the thing. Poor Jason Ross, you're taking a vacation, kind of, but not really, because you still have Kings duties. But you'll get to sleep in a little bit next week, hopefully.
Oh, I'm going to be up listening to the show at 6 a.m.
And Dave, I actually had a good idea for Jason, since he said he's just going to be at home. He's not going anywhere. I thought that we should give him Christmas movies that he hasn't seen to watch and review.
What was it you, Chris, that told me? I know it was you. Jason, was it Scrooged you haven't seen?
Yeah, believe it or not, and it doesn't really add up. I don't know why I didn't. I haven't, and I have not seen that movie.
I would have bet all the money in my pockets, your pockets, and Chris's pockets that a Bill Murray Bobcat Goldthwait Christmas movie, especially that movie, you would have seen. You have to, please. I don't want to overhype it, but come on, Scrooge is right up your alley, man.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know.
If me and Dave agree on it, I should say something.
Is there a chance? I don't know that you guys have overbuilt it like that. I won't. Like how it holds up, will it be fine now?
Oh, it holds up very well.
Okay. Very much. Look, when you have when the culmination of the movie as it ends is Al Green and Annie Lennox singing a little Love in Your Heart. I mean, come on. It's got uplifting music. It's got wonderful comedy. It's got Bill Murray in one of his classic breaking down psychologically throughout. I mean, it's a revisit of the old Jacob Marley Scrooge Christmas Carol. It's one of the best, I would say. Mickey's Christmas Carol and Scrooged, two of the best Dickens interpretations.
Muppets Christmas Carol is the goat.
I would put Muppets Christmas Carol third, but I understand a lot of people look, when you have Goofy as Jacob Marley in the Disney classic Mickey's Christmas Carol. Also, that might have something to do with the fact that I had a babysitter growing up that we walked from elementary school to her house, and she had 3 movies total on one cassette tape. These were our choices every day. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Mickey's Christmas Carol, and Dudley Moore's Arthur. Woo! Let's go. Those were our choices. Also, I'm sure, and our guy Sylvan here brought this up. Jason, were you very excited to see yesterday that Axel Foley is coming back this summer?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Netflix. Axel Foley returns in Beverly Hills Cop. Axel F, I believe, is what it's called on Netflix.
Okay.
Kind of a boatload of money they pay Eddie for that one, dude.
Yeah.
Is this a safe space?
Uh-oh. Are we about to get Eddie slander?
No.
He did not see Beverly Hills Cop?
I have not seen Beverly Hills Cop or Beverly Hills Cop 2.
I only saw Beverly Hills Cop. I didn't see 2, or I think there's a third one, isn't there?
I've seen Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Oh, boy.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, we got to get to the segment, but hold on. I mean,
Hey, while you think of that too, Dave, we need people to chime in our Jiffy Lube drive of the game.
No. Why? Don't
There's nothing more important than this right now.
Let me just recap here. Chris, of the Beverly Hills Cops triad of movies, you've seen 3.
Yes. I haven't seen 3 of them. I've just seen the third.
And Jason, you've seen which?
Just the first. And someone on our Quantum Leaper 21 says 2 was the best.
He's correct.
Really? Beverly Hills Cop 2 is the best?
He is 100% correct. I would say this. Beverly Hills Cop 1 is a classic and a wonderful movie. Beverly Hills Cop 2 really is where the characters breathe a little bit and you get a much deeper, best story. And then Beverly Hills Cop 3 was a cash grab. It was like the 48 hour. Huh?
Is Taggart into?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then
yes, and he befriends the chief in the Beverly Hills Police Department. Like they're all boys now, and he comes back out there, and he's got to save the day and the whole thing. Oh my God! It's just both of you. First off, shame on you, Chris. Your assignment: Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Jason, you got to see 2. This is ridiculous.
Wow, I did not know 2 was that good. But a lot of people are agreeing on the chat.
We'll take the Jiffy Lube drive of the game right now. 1-800-920-1140. You can win a free $100 gift certificate to Jiffy Lube, which is a fantastic prize. Don't take the sadness in my voice as not being excited about that. You think you know your partners. You think you know the people that you work with, your brothers in arms that you go out on the radio battlefield with each and every day. And I find out that one guy's seen Beverly Hills Cop 3, and the other guy, who is an SNL freak, the biggest SNL fan I know, has not seen Beverly Hills Cop 2. What's next? You haven't seen Goonies? 1-800-920-1140. That's 1-800-920-1140. Boy, we blew through this segment. We'll take a break. When we come back, I don't even know what the hell we're going to do. We're supposed to talk to Brendan Nunes. No, are we? Yeah, we're going to talk to Brendan. We'll talk to Brendan Nunes. We'll get the Jiffy Lube drive of the game as well. And I'm going to go soak my head in bleach. We'll be right back. Sactownsports.com.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Stop your grinding with Bucks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brux Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to bruxnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brux Night Guard. Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Mercedes-Benz of Stockton warmly suggests that you add a Mercedes to your holiday shopping list this year. With finance rates as low as 4.99% APR or 72 months on sedans, SUVs, and all-electric Mercedes cars, it's a great time to visit Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just 45 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, where we make buying your Mercedes a special event you'll never forget. mbofstockton.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Harold Faltermeyer bringing us back with the theme to Beverly Hills Cop. One of the most famous themes. I mean, you could almost argue you put this up, well, I don't know, Star Wars, Rocky, Indiana Jones.
Fletch. Same guy.
But it's got to be a top 10 all-time movie theme, as we figured out that Jason Ross has not seen Beverly Hills Cop 2, but Christopher Lott, I think, is actually he is worse. He's seen Beverly Hills Cop 3, but not the first two. Chris, have you seen another 48 Hours, but not 48 Hours as well?
I haven't seen either.
Yeah, you know what? Don't watch 48 Hours. Just don't.
I heard that does not hold up.
Your head would likely explode off of your neck if you watch. Yeah, 48 Hours is definitely in the Blazing Saddles, Airplane Beaver's mom category of things that just would not work today. That being said, what does work is the Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game before we get to Brendan Nunez, excuse me. You know, some guy was just screwing with me about that, and I said, I'm the one guy who's psycho about his last name being said correctly, and then I screw it up. In the meantime, Jason's got the Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. Let's see if Nick, who called in first, knows the answer. Nick, do you know the answer to the Jiffy Lube Drive of the Game from last night?
Yeah, was it a De'Aaron Fox drive to the game?
A De'Aaron Fox drive to the game? No, but De'Aaron Fox did drive to the game.
Actually, I heard he rode a bicycle. So that's not even right.
Jay, you were up next. Jay, do you know what the Jiffy Lube drive of the game is described by the G-Man?
I sure would like to try. I believe it was JaVale McGee assist to Malik Monk to bring it up to 29 points.
JaVale McGee, an assist from Malik Monk?
To Monk.
You think JaVale McGee to Monk?
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to phone a friend?
Well, my follow-up was, is Beverly Hills Cop age appropriate for a 5 or 6-year-old?
No.
Because when it came out in the theaters.
I mean, sure. I probably wouldn't choose that for 5 or 6 is almost too young to realize it. At 9 or 10, they're going to start using some of the words. Thank you for the attempt.
Yes. How about another Jay? Jay, do you know the answer? What was the Jiffy Lube drive of the game?
I do. It's about a minute left in the first quarter. It was Monk who threw it up to McGee, who then threw it down.
Okay, let's hear if this Jay is right.
Pass to Malik Monk, accelerates full speed, sets up the alley-oop. There is the delivery of the night. JaVale McGee with a two-hand flush. That's going to be your Jiffy Lube drive of the game. It comes late first quarter against the Thunder.
Well, Jay, you're right. Congratulations. You've won a gift certificate from Jiffy Lube, $100. Jay, it pays to listen. Congratulations. Hang on. We'll get your information, and you are a proud winner.
Thanks, Jay.
And
Well
Jay is
done.
thrilled. Yeah.
Jay is over the moon.
Over the moon. There
There's
you go.
Our next guest joining us via it's the modern technology. As I somehow turned my camera off, sorry about that. Modern technology allows us to all come from different locations. Brendan at the Nunes headquarters, Jason Ross at KHTK headquarters, and myself at an undisclosed location. Brendan is our KHTK Sactown Sports Kings insider. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Morning. Doing well. I have not seen any of these movies, for what it's worth.
Weirdly,
Any of them?
Just
no.
Weirdly enough, we have multiple texts from people that apparently either know you or know your personality that all are reinforcing that there was no way you had seen any. Are you one of those I haven't seen a lot of movies people?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of, I guess, notorious for that at this point. Haven't seen many movies.
Wow. Like, what would be on your short list of the favorite movies you've seen?
Like I've seen Catch Me If You Can. I thought that was an amazing movie, but that took me
That's the first poll.
That was like 2 years ago that I finally saw that movie. So, yeah. That's where we're at.
What a pull.
Yeah. Good movie.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. Yeah.
Have you, let me do just a quick test and then we'll get to the Kings.
Okay.
Have you seen Shawshank Redemption?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
I would have guessed no.
Have you seen Tombstone?
Some of it. People have gotten on me for that one before, but some of it.
Have you seen Star Wars?
Probably not all of them, but a majority.
Some of them?
Yeah.
We have a bit of a baseline to work with at least, Jason.
Yeah. A little more there than I thought.
Much like Mike Brown has a little bit of a baseline to work with when it comes to Keon Ellis. How much did Keon do last night to vault him into the rotation, or is this still a work in progress in your opinion?
I mean, I think he already had kind of worked his way into that backup point guard spot, and it really was his to lose, and I admittedly did think eventually that would probably happen, just the nature of being a young guy in this league, still a two-way, but he played amazing last night. I think seeing that three ball really go down was big. He's a great shooter. He shot above 40% in Stockton last year. De'Aaron was mentioning in some of their shooting drills, he's right up there with some of the best guys on the team. So obviously getting shots to go down was really helpful, but he's done everything out there. And he's actually playing next to De'Aaron yesterday rather than just solely as that backup one. So I think he's done a little bit of everything and deserves to be kind of penned in as that backup one.
Yeah, and Mike Brown really gave him a lot of praise yesterday. It certainly didn't want to call him Bruce Bowen, though. Gosh, he was shying from that in the postgame, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Just, keeping it clear.
Yeah, keeping it clear. About Mike Brown, though, Dave and I brought this up earlier. He clowned himself, Brendan, by basically saying, it was the worst challenge in the history of challenges. I'm going to be on Shaqtin' a Fool, all that kind of stuff. But I think just by and large, I don't think they've been great at the challenge system. Him, the staff, the process, whether they get him right or not, or just kind of curious timing on that. Are they missing an entity on that right now, kind of for the season?
I don't know. Like you're definitely not the first person to ask this question. I guess I never really realized. Like obviously yesterday stood out a lot. It wouldn't surprise me if coach thought that he could challenge if there was a whistle there rather than just who the ball was out on. And I believe that they couldn't on that play, which is kind of confusing there. But I mean, I think they've done an okay job. I guess maybe I need to look into some of the percentages, but I get using it early if it's something that you're really confident about. And more often than not, coach is looking to the back of his bench who are watching the replay already and getting confirmation on should I pull the trigger here or not. So there's a lot of factors that go into the decision. And more often than not, I don't mind using it early if you're that confident in it. But there definitely have been a few scenarios where you use it early and then it's just gone.
Oh, we might have lost Dave here for a minute. Sorry, Brendan. As we continue to roll on with Brendan Nunez, our Sactown Sports Insider. Before we kind of get back into the game, there was a move made yesterday by the Kings, adding Juan Toscano-Anderson. I know, obviously, it wasn't available last night. Any intel, Brendan, on how you think he might be utilized, if he'll be utilized, kind of the thought process behind adding him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Kings are just always going to add some wing defender who maybe struggles to survive a little bit offensively. There's a Casey Okpala, Chima Monecki, and now you're on to Kessler Edwards, and I think Juan Toscano-Anderson falls into the same category. But, you know, Mark Spears had mentioned that this is somebody that Mike Brown really liked and wanted to bring into training camp, but that didn't end up working out. So I think I do really think of him as kind of another Kessler Edwards out there. That defensively, that sort of size, that energy, and how can he survive offensively because he's played in a system in Golden State that's pretty similar to what Sacramento runs.
Brendan Nunez joining us, Sacramento Kings insider for Sactown Sports. I just want to bring you behind the scenes real quick. I sneezed and in the process flailed my left arm and muted you guys, and I needed about 2 minutes to figure out why I couldn't hear you guys anymore. So that's why I disappeared. Sorry. Also, looking at a text right now, I want to bring this up just because it gets my temper going. So sorry, fellas. Some ding dong on the chat says to stop calling Brendan an insider. He works for the radio station. Let me explain real quick what insider means. Brendan goes to every practice. He goes to every game. He's in the locker room before, during, and after every game, as is Frankie Cardicelli and a number of other people. He has access to this team that most do not. And, of course, there's other media there as well. So it just depends on your definition of an insider. But when you have somebody that is around the team as much as him, that's exactly what an insider is. It's somebody that can be there pre-half and post game, somebody that is there at practice and can bring us trends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So knock it off, as we're joined by Kings insider Brendan Nunez. People just argue about anything, guys. You know that? They'll just argue about absolutely anything. It's so
no, we
weird.
Don't.
Brendan, I want to go back real quick and get your insider knowledge as to the replay process. So we know these are, and again, this is something that's almost like trying to figure out a credit score. Nobody really has their finger on it, but the actual coaching staff themselves probably. But I was asking Jason earlier, can we find out at some point if the coaching staff drills replays, if there's an actual practice for the behind the bench coach or coaches that are in charge? I really do truly wonder. And we were even talking about the idea of maybe, 40, 50 grand invested to have an ex-NBA referee on your bench who's specifically in charge of. It's such a big deal. You'd think maybe you don't want just necessarily a coach doing it. You might want somebody who's actually trained and who has trained their whole lives to be able to figure out in an absolute heartbeat whether or not a play goes one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I know they've had refs in the building throughout like the offseason. There's I forget the name, but there's a handful of ex-officials that go around to different teams and sort of help them out with practices, or the Kings will bring in refs to officiate their own scrimmages. But the idea of having them on the bench is interesting. I definitely see where you're coming from. And I don't know if they've ever drilled anything like that. That hadn't crossed my mind, admittedly. So maybe we can get some information on that during this homestand here. But it's Robbie Lemons and Luke Laux, is my understanding. Two guys behind the bench that are really spearheading that, just looking back at that replays and making that decision. And it comes down to everybody. Everybody can take a peek there. And usually it's fairly unanimous. And I feel like if it's not, then it's probably not going to get called. So, I think that there are ways that you can improve there for sure, but it's hard. It's a bang bang play. You're rushing to get it done before the other team checks the ball in. So I don't know. It's tough.
Talk with Brendan Nunes here. Brendan, how about De'Aaron last night? I mean, look, the guy has had a spectacular season. He came off his worst game and arguably one of the Kings' worst games, and he bounced back after 3 points in the first quarter. There he is at the end of the night. Mr. Third quarter, Mr. Fourth quarter, 40-plus points again. And just the head-to-head battle, how much did you enjoy watching him versus SGA last night?
I mean, they both just so casually do it, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Just easily walk their way into 40 points. That's crazy. De'Aaron had 3 at the end of the first. I hadn't realized that. But he totally took over. I mean, I feel like you can't not talk about the 3-ball with De'Aaron. 5 of 11 from 3. He's crazy confident. He pulled one from really deep last night. It's nothing but bottom of the net. He's had a couple in these last couple games where he puts it up and he doesn't full Steph Curry turn away, but he starts to turn his body back before it even goes in, even if he's still looking at it. The confidence is off the charts for De'Aaron. He's at 38% on 8.3 a game. Like, it's all there for De'Aaron. And Coach Brown mentioned postgame, he's still getting as many drives to the rim this year as he was last year. It's just some of those mid-ranges are turning into threes, and that's got him sitting at 30 points on the year, extremely efficient. Like, De'Aaron's done everything you could have asked, I feel like.
The question I think on a lot of Kings fans' minds, Brandon, especially after a game like last night, is why is it that they're so good against the top of the pops in the West, but then the Pelicans and the Clippers and the Rockets of the world give them so many problems? Are the Kings to the Thunder what the Pelicans are to the Kings? Does it go that deep?
I do kind of like that. I do think the Pelicans and Clippers have some similarities, just having a lot of size, a lot of wings, and they kind of bully you a little bit. And I know the Kings are trying to embrace that, but I still think that we've seen some teams be able to come in there and push them around a little bit. Obviously, those two that we just mentioned. I feel like Houston's the outlier here. Like, De'Aaron wasn't playing, and obviously they got smacked. They need to perform better than that, but that one feels like a little bit more of an outlier to me. And yeah, I do think the Kings have a more favorable matchup up against OKC. I think that Chet is the type of big that Domas usually does pretty well against. And after Lou Dort, they don't have I don't think great individual defenders that keep up well with Sacramento's free-flowing offense. So, yeah, I would say that, it's kind of two different kryptonites, right? And it's encouraging for sure to look at the people above them in the standings, the Kings that is, and they beat every one of them.
Brendan, how about I think back to Mike Brown, too, what he was doing last year a lot. He kept saying that we have, meaning the Kings, we have 2 All-Stars, and he was really campaigning for De'Aaron Fox. As the year went along, he's like, we have 2 All-NBA players, and kind of spoke that into existence. That happened, and both Sabonis and Fox deserve that. Now he's really pushing, to me, Malik Monk and his case for 6th man of the year. We're still very early in the season. We know how much he means to this team. Do you think Mike Brown, his campaigning will help get Monk kind of into that stratosphere where people are talking about him consistently as the 6th man of the year?
Yeah, I feel like there was a point last year where it felt justified too, but he just kind of slowed down and maybe had a little bit of inconsistent stretches. But Malik's been amazing this year. I think he's easily been their 3rd best player, so 5 assists a game for Malik right there, just under 15 points. He's been ridiculously efficient. I feel like he makes his first shot almost every game. It feels like he just comes in and provides a spark. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it's a contract year. I'll just say that, because Mike Brown's crediting a lot of this to his extra work that he's getting in pre-practice, post-practice, and things like that. And, intentions, I guess, don't really matter, but I don't think it being a contract year is necessarily a coincidence here, but it's working.
we'll bring you into some fun we were having earlier as we officially kick off trade season today, December 15th. As many contracts become available, we'll be having these conversations all the way through February. A couple of names that were floated yesterday: John Collins and Keldon Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs. Either of those turn you on at all as a when you take salary, fit, everything, gettability into the equation, or is there somebody else you have your eye on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind those guys. I think price considered obviously is a factor in all of these conversations. If you're not giving up too many picks, maybe even in Collins' situation, like probably not many, then sure, maybe if you feel like that's a spot that you could go make that improvement, then maybe that's what you look at. I kind of think that you wait and take a swing for a third star, a guy that you really think can complete this trio. And I think OG Anunoby could be that person. I do kind of like Pascal Siakam, but you also don't know who's going to become available. Like, what if Lauri Markkanen becomes available? Or say,
well, let me ask you about Lauri Markkanen because I left that name out. We did go over Lauri's look earlier. Let me throw this back at you because my issue with Lauri is he plays 60 games a year. He's not a defender. He gives you outside shooting as a big. Pairing him up with Sabonis seems problematic to me. Do you see it differently?
I mean, I think that the size he provides would be really good. The Kings are definitely an undersized team. And I agree, obviously, defensively, he's not a stopper, but I do think that length would help a bit. I'm not sure he'd be the third guy, but I could talk myself into it, I guess is where I'm at. I think we've seen him play a lot of 4, even some 3 during his time with Cleveland and now with Utah. So, and if you're still trying to figure out the backup 5, he could maybe slot into that. So I'm not 100% convinced he would be the right third guy, but I could talk myself into it. But I just think that when you take that swing, you better be pretty committed to that guy. So I would be aggressive but patient, and I don't necessarily think it has to happen this year.
Would you, Brendan, be in the camp of if the third star, I mean, if you're truly getting a third star, I don't even know what the player's name is. Maybe that's the irrelevant part. But if it came at the expense of Keegan Murray, would that be worth it to you?
I mean, if it's like a solidified star, I'm pretty easily doing that, to be honest. I think that might be a little bit of a hot take, but you take the guarantee rather than the hypothetical, right? Like, I think Keegan has been good. There's been progress in his game this year in a lot of ways outside of just efficiency and scoring. But I mean, if you got Paul George right there, like, I don't know. I'm not walking away because Keegan's in the deal, and I know that the team is going to say that, but like, what happened to Tyrese, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's like my concern with a team like Toronto. I'm almost certain they want Keegan. Now, Siakam's been closer to a star than Anunoby. Anunoby's good. He's good, but like and you got guys on expiring. There's just some more risks that have me a little reserved, but I also don't know what the conversations are and who teams want from the Kings.
The full expiring of like Siakam, OG, those guys expiring at the end of this year probably does take Keegan out of the conversation for them, in my mind.
Let me go back to something you said about how it doesn't necessarily need to be this year, and I don't disagree with that. Things can always happen, but I want to put us in a scenario I've had in the back of my head. Malik Monk, as you mentioned, is in a contract year. I imagine that's going to be a pretty big priority for the Kings to bring back. You've got De'Aaron Fox, who turned down the extension, according to Chris Haynes, the supermax, looking for a supermax, I should say. He's got 2 years left, and then Sabonis increases $11 million and on upward for the next 4 years. Brendan, part of me thinks it actually does have to be this year, and that's why I'm so confident if it's there, Monty's going to make a move for the following reason. Number one, a couple of the people that are out there are free agents. You mentioned Anunoby and Pascal Siakam amongst others, but also with Malik Monk there, you got to imagine Malik's going to get paid and retained. And then whoever they trade for, that's basically going to be their, all right, this is our group. We're complete. We're going to cap ourselves out a little bit. We're going to have MLEs here and there. But for the most part, we're committed. We've committed this cap space to this group plus trade player X they require. it feels like they want to get that done so they can bird rights everybody over the summer. At least that would make sense looking at it on paper, that it's more likely this year than next year. Am I missing something?
I mean, I do think that most of these guys are already locked up. Like Malik is obviously the big question mark, right? And I think that the fact that everybody else is so locked up, of Domas still having a handful of years, HB just having signed, Herder, I believe, is in the second year of a 4-year deal.
Correct.
Keegan, obviously, very early into his contract. De'Aaron still has a handful of years. Like, outside of Malik, you have your whole core here. And so I think that, obviously, I agree, re-signing him is going to be a big priority. And if you even have to make some moves just to free up the finances, say it goes over I believe it's early bird rights that they're going to have on Malik, then you do it. Like, Malik is that important to this team. So I see where you're coming from, but I do think the fact that everybody is locked up for a while outside of Malik would make me feel okay with just being a little more patient.
Well, let me just add into, not to nerd out too much, but where I'm really stuck on is right now Sacramento is 22nd lead in salary. Next year they have 149 million committed. You got to think Malik's getting 20 million a year. I mean, it's going to be in that range, wouldn't you say? A 3-year, 4-year, 8. Okay, so you do that. Now all of a sudden, with positions still to fill, you're up to right around 169 million going into next year, 165 million. 169 puts you in the top 10. It actually puts you a little bit higher than the Lakers, at least where they'd be this year. So what I'm saying is, if they do re-sign Malik, if it is around 20 million, for them to re-sign Malik and then go out and get the deal, unless it's dollar for dollar, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult after signing Malik than before this year, and then grabbing Malik's bird rights. And you know what I mean? The math is nerdy and all that, but you see where I'm going?
Totally. Yeah, no, I do think it becomes more difficult, but I just think, like, you have to wait for you. It has to be the right deal, when it comes down to it. And if that means it's not going to be available until a little bit later, then it is what it is. Say you don't love anybody that is available. Like, I would say not to force it, I guess, is more so my point here. And, like, absolute hypothetical, but say things happen fast in the NBA. Say Jimmy Butler all of a sudden wants a new home. I'm just picking a random name here, but, like, things happen fast and it's random. So I definitely get what you're saying. I do think that their way of acquiring a guy would be a trade. And you look at HB and you look at Herder as the two most common names, I think, just because of their matching salary, really. So that would help your finances a bit after re-signing Malik. But I get what you're saying. I think more so my point is just, like, you better make sure it's the right guy.
I agree with you, because that's going to be the guy. You're going to be stuck with that core, and you're probably going to have to take a loss on that if you move it around. All right, that's Brendan Nunes, CBS Sports. Why did I say that? I'm looking at
I don't know.
No, can I tell you why I said that? I'm looking at the rundown to go with what's next, and I looked right at Dave Richards' name, and it just Ron Burgundied me. Brendan Nunes, Sactown Sports, Sacramento Kings insider. You can read him at sactownsports.com, and of course hear him throughout the week on many different shows covering the Sacramento Kings, unlike any other, because of course we are the home of the Sacramento Kings. Brendan, thank you so much as always for your time. We will talk to you soon, and when we come back, we'll get into 4-down territory, locks, upsets, and more. It's Jason Ross, Chris Verlaw, Carmichael Dave right here on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel, coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Smart & Final, or a local grocery store near you.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you got last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. $1,000. That's what you could win with Boost Mobile's 12 days of Boostmas. That's right. Boost Mobile is giving away $1,000 a day. And to enter for your chance to win, all you have to do is stop by your local Boost Mobile store. You can enter anytime before December 23rd. But why wait? Head over to your local Boost Mobile store today for your chance to win $1,000 from Boost to you and yours. Sweepstakes ends 12/24/23. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. Visit winwithboostmobile.com/boostmas for details.
Don't miss new deals every day during Lowe's 25 Days of Deals. Get up to 50% off select tools and accessories. Plus, bring home a Werner 4-foot fiberglass stepladder, now just $29.98. And get same-day delivery for eligible in-stock items when you order by 2 p.m. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/20 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
All right, welcome back. Greg Papa is going to join us in just under a half hour. 4 down territory here in a second. Jason, Jake Fisher writes for Yahoo Sports. Just a quick note here. He's got some insights, if you will, on Kings trade targets and also the various thoughts from GMs around the league on Sacramento. And he does name names. We alluded to Keegan Murray earlier. We're going to get to that in the next segment when we get to what's hot, what's not, or who's hot and who's not. So stick around for that.
I'm intrigued.
You should be very intrigued. Jake Fisher pulling something out of the ocean for us because he's. In the meantime, 4 down territory. Christopher Verlaud, take over, please.
What is your lock of the week in the NFL?
God, I don't know. You asking me for?
63.
I know. Oh, lock of the week. There's a number of games this weekend that you certainly could slap in. I don't want to cheat though. You know, the Niners going into Arizona. I'm not saying it's cheating, but Niners, Arizona. You know, the Chiefs are going into Foxborough to take on the Patriots. I'm going to go with something a little less though, just to make it sporting. I'm going to go with Eagles in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. That's your Monday night game. Philadelphia favored by 3. They've lost 2 in a row. I think this is going to be a get-right week for them. It's always tough to go into Seattle. Yes, I certainly could see Seattle winning this game. It wouldn't shock me at all, but I do think Philly 3-point favorites will come out on top.
I guess I'm going to cheat. I'm not picking the Niners, but I'm going to that New England game and picking the Chiefs. The Chiefs have had a couple of weeks here where I think they're a really good team. They're upset. I know Holmes was upset by his own actions this last week. New England's not that good. This looks like, I think it's about an 8-point spread. Kansas City in New England. That's my lock of the week for the Chiefs.
Second down.
What is your upset of the week in the NFL?
I'm going to go with a little bit of history here. 10 a.m. Sunday, CBS. Coming off a surprising 30-6 win over the Houston Texans. Give me the New York Jets going into Miami. That Miami's favored by 9.5 in this one. And that would be a second straight home loss. Here's the thing. Raheem Mostert's been banged up most of the year. He's actually, by the way, everybody, Raheem Mostert is very quietly putting together a tremendous season. 924 yards on the ground, 16 touchdowns. 16 touchdowns. And he's had a couple of those taken away from their guy, the rookie Achane, who also has been hurting much of the year. I know Tyreek Hill got banged up last week as well. This is a little bit of a bruised Dolphins team. Look, Miami's probably going to win this one. It's a 9.5-point favorite for a reason, but give me the Jets just to screw around. That would be a real upset.
Yeah, I like that. That's a bold call there. This one, I'm going on the edges here. Just a hunch again. I've been better at my upsets than my locks, which is kind of bad, but Jacksonville. I think the Jags are going to find a way to beat those Baltimore Ravens, who are a really good team. I think that's about a 3-point spread. Jags are home. There's some big games ahead for the Ravens. Could be a trap for them a little bit. I don't know. I'm just going to go Jags on a hunch over the Ravens.
Third down.
Which game would you most like to attend in the NFL this week?
I'm looking, it's middle of December. I'm looking at, the cities. Buffalo's got a home game. That's going to be cold as all get out. If I'm just going for environment and weather, it'd probably be Miami, but I don't want to do that. I'll just go to the default. When in doubt, when there's no game that really probably, honestly, if I want to combine both, it'd probably be Jacksonville for the Sunday night game versus the Ravens. You're talking about Florida. It'd be decent enough weather and a good game. But I'm going to go for football atmosphere. I always say, Jason, when in doubt, give me Lambeau Field. Give me Green Bay and Tampa Bay.
Wow.
34
degrees scheduled game time. But, I'm going to go something that's 2 degrees warmer because they're absolutely crazy there. Buffalo. Let's go to Buffalo. It's Dallas. I think that's the game of the week. It will be cold. We'll be bundled up. And we'll have a good time with the Bills fans, Bills Mafia.
It's going to be so cold, dude. It's going to be so cold there. But you'll have people crashing through tables all over the place. All right. Fourth down.
Which starting backup quarterback this week will have the best numbers?
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell, great poll. What do you think he's gonna have? Like 5 touchdowns?
Give me Folsom's Jake Browning.
Yeah.
Again. They're on a nice little run. They're taking on the Vikings, who did manage to shut out the Raiders last week. When the Raiders scored 63 points this week, are the Vikings' best defense in the NFL? I don't know, but I think Jake Browning and friends they're going to find a way to get through. Jamar Chase already over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns on the season. Again, very quietly for an NFL superstar wide receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown also over 1,000 yards. Jason, when you look at some of the numbers, and 1,000 yards is always kind of a benchmark, if you will. And remember, we've got, as always, we got now 17 games. But how about this? We have, as of right now, 13 games into the season, depending on injury. We now have 11,000-yard receivers, and we've got another 5 that are above 900 yards. And some of these names, Jason Ross, Puka Nacua, DJ Moore, Nico Collins, all over 1,000 yards. The receivers are in pretty good hands.
Yeah, they are, and they've had good years there. The passing league. I think there's still just the 1,000-yard rusher, McCaffrey, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me look here. You are correct. Raheem Mostert, second at 924. McCaffrey, 1,177.
All right. Which game would which starting backup QB? I was thinking Jake Browning for sure, even though our guy Dave Richards says he dinks and dinks. Not even. But if not him, how about Will Levis for Tennessee? When he was coming out of college, I thought he was Will Levis. I always thought that was a cool name. But Will Levis. I'll take him for the Titans.
Will Levis. That's not bad.
That'd have been a better name.
100%. Levis is, where do the Niners play at? Levis Stadium?
Depends on how you pronounce it.
Remember those Levis button-fly 501 jeans we used to wear?
Yeah.
Come on, Will Levis.
Acid wash.
We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, and also who are the Kings targeting, and what are other GMs saying about who they might have to give up in order to get some of these targets. Jake Fisher, Yahoo Sports, had them in his article earlier. We'll share that with you. In the meantime, I want to remind you that right now, believe it or not, you can get $16,500 off MSRP on brand new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payment for 90 days. Save up to $5,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Dodge Charger SXT and Challenger GTs, and 0% financing for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. How about a plug-in hybrid, a 2024 plug-in hybrid for just $199 a month for 27 months with over $5,500 in savings? That's the Dodge Hornet. It's a brand new vehicle from Dodge with a great payment available for you, and get in the plug-in hybrid world. I have an electric vehicle. I will never, ever, ever go back unless it's just for fun as a second car. Number 1 Ram truck dealer in California. Number 7 in the whole U.S. of A. See Hoblet's true pricing at hobletdodge.com. The price you see, that's the price you pay. No hidden fees, no add-ons, no surprises. And that's part of the reason why they are J.D. Power's customer first dealership since 2019. Number 1 2022 Ram truck dealer in J.D. Power's initial quality study. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. Who's hot, who's not? We'll recap 3 in the key. We got to pick 6. We got to do a 3 in the key, and we got trade rumors. It is a packed segment before we get to Greg Papa in 15 minutes, the voice of the Niners on your home of the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
On Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. $1,000. That's what you could win with Boost Mobile's 12 days of Boostmas. That's right. Boost Mobile is giving away $1,000 a day. And to enter for your chance to win, all you have to do is stop by your local Boost Mobile store. You can enter anytime before December 23rd. But why wait? Head over to your local Boost Mobile store today for your chance to win $1,000 from Boost to you and yours. Sweepstakes ends 12/24/23. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. Visit winwithboostmobile.com/boostmas for details.
Don't miss new deals every day during Lowe's 25 Days of Deals. Get up to 50% off select tools and accessories. Plus, bring home a Werner 4-foot fiberglass stepladder, now just $29.98. And get same-day delivery for eligible in-stock items when you order by 2 p.m. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/20 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. While most would not accuse the Federal Reserve Chair of being a gambler, it appears they know when to hold them. The Fed announced no rate increases for the remainder of 2023 and possibly up to 0.75% decreases in 2024. For every 1% increase in interest rates, your buying power decreases by 10%. Lower federal funds rates could increase home purchase affordability for many Americans, potentially reinvigorating the residential real estate market. Lower borrowing costs for businesses could stimulate business investment, which could power economic growth as debt service costs are reduced. Lower borrowing costs reduce the fixed rates that income products such as CDs and money markets provide, potentially making equity or stock investments more attractive. Lower borrowing costs could have the effect of adding liquidity to households and businesses, which could in turn increase demand and lead to renewed concerns with inflation. While Jerome Powell may not be a gambler, we hope he knows when to hold them so businesses don't have to fold them by reducing staff or closing their doors. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankonthereradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer and member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Imagine it's the final game of the season, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are making a comeback. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot, Chris Rillat?
This can't be right.
Oh,
the Las Vegas Raiders.
What?
They scored 63 points last night.
What?
They got 4 touchdowns from their quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. They got a touchdown pass from Jacoby Myers, their wide receiver, and 2 defensive touchdowns.
That's hot.
That is hot.
They also scored. They were also up 21-0 in the first quarter, which was their largest first quarter lead since Week 7 in 2010, when they led the Denver Broncos 24-0.
I mean, I have no explanation for it. I really don't. I have absolutely no explanation for what happened last night. Again, I don't want to take any credit away from the Raiders, which means I'm about to take credit away from the Raiders. All credit to them, but I just got to think, man, that was part them getting confidence and part the Chargers just flat gave up. Like that is a team in shambles right now, Jason.
Yeah, enjoy it, Charger fan.
Yeah,
Man.
for real.
But good for the Raiders to have a
Charger
day.
fans?
What's that?
Charger fans?
They
Fan.
exist.
Fan. That guy.
Fan. Who's not?
People that own NBA League Pass.
Oh.
Because at around 4:00 today, you can see the Spurs and Lakers, the Wizards and Pacers, and also the Pistons and Spurs.
Woo!
Who all have a combined 8-62 record for the season.
Wait a minute, hold on. It could be me. Did you say Spurs twice?
Spurs, Lakers, Wizards, Pacers, and Pistons. Oh, it's not the Pistons, Spurs. It's the Pistons and 76ers.
Okay, I was like,
I just really want to see this Pistons matchup.
Victor Wembanyama is so long. He's in two cities at the same exact time. We got a lot to get to here. Let me give you Jake Fisher's article.
Yeah.
Let me give you the Kings centric stuff here. When talking about, for example, Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby, both seem to be perhaps on their way out. Sacramento, along with Indiana, are mentioned as interested in obtaining Siakam, but both would rather or appear to be more vested in the possibility of landing OG Anunoby, which I do agree with. In the case of Sacramento, and I'll read this quote here, Sacramento has certainly left rival front offices and other league figures with a sense the Kings are exploring avenues to grab more midseason talent, just like the Halliburton-Sabonis trade. Adding Zach LaVine would not help to improve their leaky defense. I agree, as a matter of fact. For Sacramento to do business with Toronto, the Raptors are expected to seek sweet shooting Keegan Murray in exchange for either one of their talented forwards. That would seem too rich of a price for Sacramento, as Kings officials have spoken of Murray as a critical swing piece in their lineup between Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, particularly as 31-year-old veteran Harrison Barnes has faded. Davion Mitchell is considered a strong trade candidate. But if Toronto holds firm, they certainly could go somewhere else. He also mentions Lauri Markkanen in there. That the Kings, amongst other teams, have also kicked the tires on him as well. You're going to hear, Jason, Sacramento in a lot of different scenarios as we get closer.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of feeling that vibe. I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, at what point, if any point. By the way, on another note, watching the game last night, Dave, I had that feeling, that exact feeling of like a Siakam or an Anunoby or some of these wing perimeter defender, help any team type of guys. OKC should do that as well. Like they should be in the mix because they're good, they're young, they've got assets to really make that team spectacular, I think. And I know they may be ahead of schedule, but they might be able to speed this up and do something pretty significant, I think. Just watching them, I feel like they could do it now. And I don't know, it doesn't have to be Anunoby or Siakam, but some move where you go, OKC did what? Oh, wow, look out for them. I think they can do this.
Yeah, which means that you're either moving off of at least the starting lineup, depending on who you get, Jalen Williams or Lou against Dort. And Dort is a defender. You just wonder, that's obviously a step up. I don't obviously.
Or hundreds of picks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've got that war chest. And as we talked about yesterday, Oklahoma City's kind of on a timer, unfortunately, because of their market size, because of the lack of spending, because of the cap situation out there, which again is unfortunate. And I would just caution Kings fans, when we felt like they were going to make a deal, And I think most of us were pretty sure, myself included, that it was going to be De'Aaron Fox that was traded if between him and Halliburton. I just want to remind everybody, as we do every year going into this, I know I sound like a broken record, other GMs get paid too. And the idea, and by the way, I hope I'm wrong, but every Kings fan seems to be they always have a trade package ready every year. And this year it seems to be Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, and picks. And I'm not saying that can't happen, but generally to get something, you've got to give something. And I don't know how likely it is, especially considering those first round picks for the Kings. It's not what they used to be. They're going to be mid to late round first rounders. It's not the same value anymore. So you got to imagine that anywhere from Davion Mitchell to Harrison Barnes to Kevin Huerter to, God forbid, Keegan Murray, depending on who it is, whatever trade they make, odds are if it's for a player of note, there's going to be some pain involved in that as well. So just kind of prepare yourselves and understand that, again, other GMs get paid too. All right, we want to recap 3 in the key, Jason. Is that where we want to go here?
Sure, we can do that.
Let's look back at that tonight. Woo!
All right, 3 in the key predictions where we had last night. We asked for the point total, guys, from SGA and De'Aaron Fox. Dave, you said 41 and 33. I said 33-33. Chris said 38-35. We were all pretty good on this one. The answer was SGA went for 43. De'Aaron Fox went for 41. So good work by the group.
That's why I couldn't remember what I said. It was 33. I thought for a second, I was like, did I say 43 and 41? I thought for a second I might have nailed it. You're right. It was
rigged.
Rigged.
But I did ask this question. The last made field goal by the Kings. Dave, you said it would be Keegan Murray. I said Sabonis. Chris said it would be a Fox free throw. The last made field goal was Keegan Murray. Dave, you got it.
Keegan
Murray. He also had the last point of the game, too. He made a free throw. So either way, you had it there. Random stat. Dave, you said the Sabonis chant would return. You said you heard it through the TV. I don't know. I
did.
think it's there. Okay.
I did.
I said we'd have a double overtime game. That was way off. And Chris said that De'Aaron Fox would light the beam. Well, he kind of did, but not literally. He didn't do it. It was Keon Ellis last night.
That's because, NBC Sports has to interview him after the game because he had such a good game.
Yeah.
Stop being so good, De'Aaron.
By the way, I don't know that you were way off, Jason. The way Oklahoma City was making that run last night, I was getting incredibly worried.
Yes. So there you go.
Okay. All right. So we got a couple of things here. This is a very packed segment, and don't forget Greg Papa is going to join us. So let me roll through this. We still have a 3 in the key for Kings Jazz. We still have a pick 6 for Niners at Cardinals. Should we knock one of those out here and be late? Should we skip those and go in the either the 9:27 or 9:13 segment?
Let's skip. Yeah, let's skip. We'll get to Papa.
Greg Papa, voice of the 49ers, will join us next right here on your home of the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown. CMC.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
The year might be coming to a close, but Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have a game plan for COVID-19? Prescription oral treatments must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms, even if mild. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, so lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
And what about those brand new Dodge Hornets everyone's talking about?
This month, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in hybrid for only $199 a month for 27 months. That's over $5,500 in total savings.
Now's the best time to get the vehicle you need at Hoblet. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factory rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payment for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,500 total net savings after 2,000 factory rebates and 3,500 dealer discount. 27-month lease with 3,995 due at signing plus tax and license fees on approved credit through Ally Financial. 7,500 max miles per year, 25 cents per mile for excess miles. 20 each net savings.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
They send Debo inside of Brandon Ayuk right, Kittle inside of Juwan Jennings left, and McCaffrey goes in motion, that bumper motion out right. Blitz from Bobby Wagner, they pick it up. Deep shot, Brock Purdy's going downfield for Debo! Touchdown! San Francisco!
Debo Samuel on a burner post, and Brock Purdy just does a great job.
Those two did a great job, too, as they do each and every week. On the call, heard right here on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports, and you will hear Niners Cardinals this weekend, sung to you by the one, the only, the dapper, the debonair, and our friend that joins us each and every Friday at 9 a.m., Greg Papa. Good morning, Greg.
Do we have Greg?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, am I here?
Yeah, we got you.
Good morning.
Are my AirPods working well? Should I get off these things? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
We can hear you now. How are you?
Okay. I'm good. I missed you last week. How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing better. My son has COVID, but I'm doing better. It's
Oh.
yeah, he had
Wow.
to miss his excuse me, missed his first big basketball tournament as a freshman because he's got it.
Wow.
It's a mash unit, Greg, and you know what? It's next man up. So my daughter had to step up with her band recital, and everybody stepped up last week as I sloppily segue to the football part of the interview. Niners, Seahawks, and the Eagle sandwich. They're on the bird gauntlet right now and doing quite well. Boy, that dink and dunk Brock Purdy seems to be doing well, Greg.
Well, you just heard the call, the 54-yarder against Seattle, when that was not even the original play. The first look was not to Deebo Samuel. It was supposed to go to Juwan Jennings, but he just noticed Jamal Adams, who was essentially playing like a weak side linebacker on that, and he had to cover the over route. Really was that was just a clear out route, Deebo told me yesterday, where he's clearing it out for Juwan, but the clear out wound up being the one he went to. It kind of reminded me of Matthew Stafford in For the Love of the Game route that he threw to Cooper Kupp at the Super Bowl. It may have been in the Super Bowl or the championship, where guys just be the clear out. He just open it up and they don't cover him, and you wind up looking forward, and Brock hit him. And Brock's the ball in the air 20 yards, the ball in the air 30 yards, historically good. He's hitting over half of those, and since the Ram game, and he missed 3 of them, the numbers are even better. He said this week that he thinks his arm is stronger than it was before. I thought it was stronger when I got in training camp than what I had seen last year, just because he's got the Tommy John surgery they did not do. It was the internal brace, and they actually leave that brace in there. So that stays in his elbow. And I think it took him a little while maybe to figure out the power that he has now in his arm. He's robo quarterback. But it's not just that. It's the throw is perfect, right over the top, great touch, hit him in stride. But it's the ability to see it, to see a guy who's running a clear out route become the guy that he throws the ball to because he noticed the feet of Jamal Adams were settled. So this quarterback just keeps expanding and getting better. He was brilliant the moment he started, but like anything in life, you get better at it over time. And I don't know how you can play the position much better than the way Brock's playing it. The story just comes full circle. Going back home to Arizona, a young man from Perry High School in Gilbert, Arizona. When the Niners played at Arizona last year, the game was in Mexico City. Cardinals gave up a home game, and the quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo. So think about how far that's come. We thought maybe he would go back there and play the Super Bowl. That didn't quite happen, but maybe this year in Vegas. But he is going home, and he's going to have a huge throng of people that love him, family and friends, and people that raised him. So the Brock Purdy story was great in 2022, guys. It's getting better in 2023, and we'll see what it has in store for us early in 24.
Yeah, as we're talking with Greg Papa here on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Greg, it doesn't have to happen to validate his year, but, I mean, there's a legitimate chance the story gets better and he's the league MVP. You think that happens for him?
It would be February the 8th, Jace, the night of NFL honors before the Super Bowl on February 11th, that Thursday night. I think he'll be a finalist anyway. So we'll take it to the drama and see. I honestly don't know. It's 50 voters. It's 50 Associated Press voters. They're the national people. Nobody locally gets a vote. It's all 50 national observers. It's supposed to be more objective. So it's the Peter Kings of the world. They don't make this call. He's certainly in the conversation. I think Christian McCaffrey is as well, but the quarterback position is more valuable than the running back position. But the worry is that they would kind of split their vote. The NFL changed the way they vote for MVP, where you vote for 5. It's kind of like the NBA's most valuable player. So you vote for a first place guy, gets 5 votes. It used to be in years past, just pick 1, and that's the vote. That's it. Now it's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 system. Or something like that. 10 for first place, and then 4, 3, 2, 1 for the last 4. So you get a lot more votes if you get a first place vote as opposed to a second. So, would anybody split the vote between McCaffrey and Purdy because you have two viable candidates on one team? It's the only team that really has two candidates that will be considered. I don't know if Christian will finish in the top 5, but outside of the non-quarterbacks, it's he and Tyreek Hill, who are the only guys really being considered this late in the year. We still have 4 more games to go, but I don't know. Something tells me he will be a runner-up or maybe a third-place finisher, certainly finish in the top 5, because I think they still look at the 3 games when Trent Williams was out for 2 of them and got hurt in the other one, and Debo was out for almost all of it. He got hurt in the first play in Cleveland, and the Niners lost all 3 of those games and scored only 17 points. So they can make the numbers work any way they want to do their vote. So I'll ask you, do you think America's ready for Mr. Irrelevant to actually be the league MVP, or is it just put him in the top 2 or 3 this year?
They should be.
They should be.
Yeah.
I think it depends on how, to me, it's how Dak has the better finishing schedule, and by that I mean more difficult. But I think if they both have the same record at the end of the year and they both put up similar numbers, I think Dak probably edges him because of that remaining schedule, Greg. But I don't think Dallas is going to do that. I still think they're a little bit of a paper tiger. I think the Eagles were on one leg last week. I think if Purdy's able to run it out, I think it's his to lose.
Well, I mean, what if the Cowboys go into Buffalo, which is highly possible, and don't play well, and they lose? They go to Miami and lose, and they got Detroit in a showdown game late in the year. Then they've got Washington, which is a big rival game. Those guys are all getting fired at the end of the year. Jack Del Rio's already been fired. Ron Rivera's going to get fired, so they could be a win one going out the door against your great rival Dallas. And Washington did beat Dallas last year at the very last game of the year. It didn't have a lot of meaning for Dallas. Philadelphia already wrapped up the one, but they did beat them with Sam Howell. So, and then how important is the number 1 seed? When you look at it, like the NBA, when I voted for MVP all those years, I'd go to the team with the best record, and I'd pick the best player on the team with the best record by and large. And usually it was kind of easy to do that. If the Niners are the number 1 seed, take the other side of the argument. If they are the number 1 seed and Brock plays pretty much the same way as he's played all year, is it him? Or I mean, would you vote Christian McCaffrey? I have a hard time picking who the Niners MVP is. Keep Dak and Lamar, and it may come down to that Christmas night game between the Niners and Ravens, and Brock, indirectly against Lamar. Whoever wins that game, whoever stats out that night may get it. But, it could be Lamar's the number 1 seed in the AFC and Brock's the number 1 seed in the NFC. So how important is getting that number 1 seed for doling out the MVP?
Well, speaking of, we have breaking news while we've been talking. Adam Schefter reporting, no surprise, really, Brandon Staley and GM Tom Telesco fired. And you kind of saw that coming after last night's, whatever you want to call it, against the Raiders. Greg, that's a kid's table, though. Back to the adults table, no offense to them. With the 49ers, I'll ask you this on Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is the best 49ers quarterback since who?
Wow. Well, I don't even want to get in trouble. I would say easily since Steve Young, but I could go back to Joe. I tell you what, Steve Young didn't jump right in and play this well. He played well. I shouldn't say that. In '92, he was the NFL MVP. But I remember him having a hard time just with the offense. And he played a lot off the bench. I'd have to look at it from game to game. So I would say Jeff Garcia had some really good years. Jeff has got the yardage mark for this franchise. So, and if you put Jeff Garcia on this team right now with this galaxy of stars around him, I think Jeff could light up the league the way Brock is. But Brock is just, he's so stable. He's so steady. So, and Kaepernick had some good moments. Obviously, Alex had some good moments. Jimmy had some good moments, and overall great years, all of them. But I would say easily Brock Purdy's the best one going back to Steve Young. And then there's an argument when you look at how many games has Brock played. I don't even know what the number is, 17, 18, 19, whatever it is. When he took it Steve's first 19, 20 games, he did win an MVP in '92 when he got to the highest level, but he he struggled with trying to win from the pocket. Coach Walsh would put a little rope, a little string around his ankles to keep him in the pocket, and if he ran and broke the string, he got in trouble. He didn't, but Joe had that initially as well. So, this is a franchise that has had great quarterbacks, going back to Frankie Albert, to Y.A. Tittle, to John Brody. To me, when you look at yards per attempt, the highest in the franchise's history in a single season is neither Joe nor Steve. It's John. And John threw it deep down the field to Gene Washington. So I would say easily going back to Steve Young, although Jeff Garcia would be in that conversation, and Alex and Colin. But I think even if you got into it deeper and looked at the first X amount of games of their career, could you say Brock's even better than Steve?
Wow. Greg, on that quarterback talk, on the other side, Arizona had a bye week. They do have Kyler Murray this time. All things still point to the 49ers, but you got to respect the opponent. You got to know what they're capable of. What are the concerns with Kyler there and coming off a bye week for the Cardinals?
That Kyler is trying to play the position for the first time in his career at the NFL level as a pure pocket quarterback. He just didn't do it before. When he was at Oklahoma, and I did his very first game that year against Central Florida and Lane Kiffin, and I became obsessed with him because he was just such a dynamic runner, but he also could win from the pocket in college. He made high-level throws all over the field. He made one in the Big 12 championship game in the back of the end zone, I think against Texas. It just blew me away on a post route. It was unbelievable. And when he got into the NFL with the air raid with Cliff Kingsbury and all that, he got out of the pocket too soon. He just would not stay in the pocket. When he did, he was really good, but he would look to run too much, and he scrambled. And he generated over 1,000 yards early in his career, scrambling both as a passer and a runner. He did it both. So he was more dangerous outside, but try to win from the pocket, a little like Steve Young. When Steve first got into Coach Walsh's offense, when Steve had that great run against Minnesota and broke all those tackles, and Lon Simmons' great call, Steve, he gets away again. He gets away again. That call. Bill Walsh was not happy with that. He wanted them to win from the pocket. He got upset with him. Kyler Murray is now trying to win from the pocket, and that's why he's much scarier to me than Jalen Hurts. I think he's being forced to go in there because this coaching staff is requiring it. And his career's kind of at the crossroads with they could draft a quarterback. Right now they're number 3. They could draft a quarterback and trade him. Would they rather keep him and maybe draft Marvin Harrison's son, the Ohio State wide receiver, who's amazing? So the concern is all that, them coming off their bye week, the Niners maybe being without 5 starters on defense in addition to Talanoa Hufanga. You may not have Armstead. You may not have the Gravedigger, Javon Hargrave. You may not have Dre Greenlaw. You're not going to have Oren Burks. You may not have Charvarius Ward in this game. And over the middle, they have a young tight end named Trey McBride, number 85, who's a problem. So, but mainly it's Kyler and then the inside runs from James Conner. So I don't know. This game does scare me a little bit. In fact, a lot of it, because they're coming off their bye. 14 this year, the Niners are facing off their bye, and they've lost 2 of them to the 2 Ohio teams, Cleveland first, then Cincinnati. Jacksonville was off their bye, but the Niners were also off their bye, so they kind of offset that. But this game's a little scary because Kyler Murray's trying to win from the pocket, and also coming off the ACL, he's lost a little bit as far as his quickness. I saw T.J. Watt run him down from the backside their last game 2 weeks ago in Pittsburgh. But other than that, I think he's the same Kyler Murray that when he does get out of the pocket, he will get out to his right hand and stay alive as a thrower, as being right-handed. He's dangerous.
Well, I don't want to end the interview that way. Now you got me worried, Greg. Jeez.
A little bit.
Bits.
Bobby De Niro said, little bit.
All right. Well, go down to the Valley of the Sun and bring us back a W. Let's win out the rest of the season and get ready for this Super Bowl run with the best Niners quarterback. No shade at Jim Druckenmiller.
Since where would you guys go? Would you go back to Joe and say better than Steve? Is that Steve's going to be all mad at me now? He's going to be mad at
me. I'm not as smart as you. That is 100% a fact. I'm still like at the Kaepernick Garcia bumper, but I probably should.
Really? Okay.
I probably shouldn't be. It's one of those the breadth of their, Kaepernick and the Packers and the playoffs and all that. But you're right. I mean, numbers to numbers.
Well, just watch. I mean, as far as winning from the pocket and everything we're talking about, Kaepernick was a dynamic runner, but you took away his primary read, and that's why eventually he was out of the league. I mean, if Alex was on this team or Garcia, possibly they didn't have the weapons. He's also got great weapons, but he's big brain Brock, and he brings it all. The greatest thing about Brock, Dave, is this galaxy of stars. He is maximizing their ability and their talent. No one's bitching about not getting the ball enough. They all get it the same amount. They're all going off. You may have 3 guys go for 1,000 yards receiving, and then McCaffrey may go for 2,000 yards from scrimmage. So everybody's happy. They're scoring. I mean, he's kind of like Draymond Green of the Niners, where he just keeps it all. Sorry, bad analogy. I'm surprised you guys didn't mention Draymond at all. With all this play, you're not, too sensitive to go there.
We had so much to cover, and Draymond, I said this on Twitter and got killed for it because we're in Sacramento. But from everything I understand, he is he's a pretty good guy off the court. It doesn't excuse anything he's done, but quite simply, as an NBA fan, I hope he goes and gets help. I hope he gets help and figures it out. I don't think you can ask a dog to meow or a cat to bark. Ultimately, we are who we are, but I think the league's better with Draymond Green in it when he's not, choking people out and pulling RKOs.
Yeah. Well, I know how much Mike Brown loves him. I was going to propose Draymond Green for De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray. Would you guys do that?
I'm sorry. We have connection is breaking up. Have a great flight down there.
How much is Keegan Murray? Forget swipe up. Would you just do it for Keegan Murray?
How about I got a bag of Fritos Fun Size on top of my fridge. I'll throw in there. We can talk.
How about for Trey Lyles? Trey Lyles.
We'll talk to you on Friday. Get us that win. Thank you, Greg Papa.
Get well, David. Get well. I need you, man. I need you.
I appreciate you, brother. All right, thank you, brother. Thanks, that is Greg Papa, the voice of the Niners. We are way late for a break. When we come back, we're going to do the best we can with the time we have. We've still got a pick 6, 3 in the key, and more. We'll do all that right after this.
The San Francisco 49ers have owned the NFC West this season, and they look to take out their division rival Arizona on Sunday.
It's an end around to Deebo Samuel coming right, turns the corner, and goes into the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers and Cardinals Sunday at 1 from Arizona on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Long year. Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan.
On your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. After some patchy areas of fog this morning, mostly cloudy skies will turn partly cloudy today, with temperatures warming into the low 60s and winds staying light. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf Digest Sins of Slow Play suggests precious time is wasted waiting for your turn to hit. If you're on the other side of the fairway, you can take your practice swing while someone else is playing their shot. And if you're walking, when you get to the green, leave your bag closest to the next tee box. Golf is social, but tell your great story while you're walking the fairways and not on the tee box or putting green. Next, don't be delusional. If there's only a remote chance of reaching the green or clearing a hazard, just lay up. The group behind you will love you for it. If you have to take a call, move away, and maybe even sacrifice your involvement in the hole to keep things moving. And last is not hitting the ball. PGA Pro Mike Bender wrote golf's 8-second secret and argues that the time from when you set your lead foot, step over the ball, and swing to finish should take 8 seconds, but most take twice that long with practice swings, waggles, and whatnot. For a bogey golfer, that's an extra 12 minutes times 4 golfers. Remember, golf is a game. Have some fun, but do it expeditiously. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy, at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive, both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sactown Sports.
I think you could pop it for coming on, and it made me feel so good to have him on. And now I'm gonna eat something for breakfast. Welcome back. It's an email Friday. Jason Ross.
Goth Friday.
Goth Friday, sorry.
Steve Goth.
Steve Goth.
If you missed any or all of Greg Popper or any of our other interviews, whether it was Brendan Nunes, Dave Richard, or any throughout the week, you can go to the Sactown Sports YouTube page where everything is nice and archived for your listening pleasure. We got a lot to get to in this segment with Friday Fun and Games coming up, including a celebrity birthdays. Remember, early edition because it is Friday Fun and Games. Right now, though, I think we got to get to a pick six. Niners, Cardinals this weekend. And as always, Jason and I and Chris, we will all figure out just what in the HE double hockey sticks is going to go on down in the Valley of the Sun.
All right, so here we go. Dave, pick six. 6 predictions on this 49ers game with the Cardinals, as you said. So, Dave, we lead you off. First 49er to score.
Jake Moody.
You like to do that one.
I do. And one day I'm going to get it right.
Yeah, and I'm probably going away from the obvious this time, but I'm going George Kittle. Chris?
I'm going CMC.
Dynamite. All right, I'll go first on this one. This next category, guys, is leading 49er in yards. We're taking out Purdy because he'll have the most yards. So it could be McCaffrey rushing, McCaffrey receiving, or any receiver. But I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey, 122 yards rushing. Chris?
What?
I'm going to go Deebo Samuel, 115 yards receiving.
Okay. Dave?
I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk. Just to make it different. Give me 91 yards receiving.
Okay.
I do think this is going to be a spread it around game is where I'm going.
Has that potential. Chris, Brock Purdy, touchdowns and interceptions.
He will have 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Dave?
Give me 3 and 0.
I also have 3 and 0.
What?
Dave, sacks, team sacks by the 49ers.
You know, Greg Papa mentioned Kyler Murray's trying to play inside the pocket a little bit.
He's going to run. Get away.
TJ Watt, you also mentioned, got him from behind last week. I will say, you know what? Give me 4 sacks.
Okay. I have 2. Chris?
How many did you have, Dave?
4.
I'll take 3.
Oh, there we go.
2, 3, and 4.
Score of the game. I'll go first on this one. I have 31-10 San Francisco as Chris rolls his eyes. Chris?
I'll take 34-10.
Okay. Dave?
Give me 34-24 in a game that we win, but it's a little closer than we'd like.
Okay.
Who's this we?
I know.
We, all of us. Red and gold, baby.
The royal we. Lastly, Chris, a random stat from the game.
The Niners will have a play over 50 yards.
Okay. Dave?
Give me a Kyle Juszczyk score.
Yeah.
It's going to happen at some point.
All right. And I have the 49ers will actually trail after the first quarter. Okay. There you go. We picked 6.
By the way, when I say we...
I see.
I mean, we.
You and Eric?
Me and Eric. Let me get up here for oh yeah. Let me rub the belly. Oh yeah. What if I just did this until 10 a.m.? Let's doing this.
I bet you can't do that and pat your head at the same time.
Can I? Yeah, I can do that. Look. That's skill, bro.
That doesn't look like something bad you're doing on the stream.
You just completely baited me into that. No pun intended.
That is going to live forever.
Yeah, it's going to be a gift. Jason, do we have time for a 3 in the key?
We do. And celebrity birthdays. Yeah.
Wow, let's do this. Moving right along.
All right, Dave, this is for tomorrow night. Kings, Utah Jazz, Golden One Center. Hoo-ah. We're looking for assists for the Sacramento Kings tomorrow.
Assist for the Sacramento Kings. Give me 31.
Okay, I've got 29. Chris?
28.
28. All right, Dave, they've been struggling. Points for Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter. Barnes first, then Huerter. What do they have tomorrow?
You're picking on my guys here, but I get it. It's fine because they're going to have a great Kevin Huerter loves to play against the Utah Jazz.
So did Barnes. Remember the season opener?
I do. Give me 21 for Kevin Huerter. Give me 18 for HB.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I have 9 for HB, 14 for Huerter. Chris?
I've got 7 for HB, 14 for Huerter.
Okay. And lastly, Dave, a random stat.
Random stat. Let's go with, I got one. Random. This is as random as it gets. Mike Brown wins a challenge.
That's crazy talk.
Okay, weirdo. Party of what?
I will go with Sasha makes 3 3-pointers or more.
I hope you're right.
Domantas Sabonis will have a double-double by the first half.
Okay. First half.
That's a good one. That's actually a really good one.
He likes that call.
I enjoyed
Very
that
good call. All right, there you go.
Yeah. All right, then.
You
Let's
ready for birthdays?
Celebrity birthdays as we get ready for Friday Fun and Games with Watkins and Styles. Who got older today? Jason Ross.
All right, guys. Fill in the blank. Happy birthday, Don.
Cheadle.
Geronimo.
Any other Dons?
Draper. Nope, that's not a real guy. Don Drysdale. Nope, he's dead.
It's happy birthday today on this December 15th to Don Johnson.
Ewaldberg. Oh.
Ooh, Don Johnson. Sonny Crockett himself. Jason, Don Johnson once had a #1 song on the Billboard charts. Do you remember the name of it?
Darn it. No, I don't
Looking
remember
for
it.
a heartbeat, beating
I
that
knew it.
mind. Tell me what it feels like. Sorry. Don Johnson is 68.
He is 66.
He is 74.
Oof.
One of these days, we're going to have a Mount Rushmore of actors that like Eddie Murphy's song, Don Johnson's song, Bruce Willis's song. We're going to have to figure that out someday. They all had one-hit wonders.
Happy birthday, guys, to former King Lawrence Funderburk.
Larry Fine. Let me just remind everybody, by the way, that Celebrity Birthday is brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Nothing says celebration with family and friends like Crumble Cookies. Also, so wonderful for the holidays. Crumble Cookies, CRUMBL. Lawrence Funderburk is 50. Big 5-0 today.
Lawrence Funderburk once spoke to my school on April 20th, 1999.
Wow. 420.
I remember it because it was the same day as the Columbine shooting.
Oh. Okay. Back to you, Chris.
53.
53. Chris for the win. He is an exact answer. 53 for Lawrence Funderburk.
That's how I remember.
Yeah. Our guy Delivery Joe was going with 49, but not close. Let's see. We'll throw this one out there. Chris, you're really good at these. What year, guys, on this day, December 15th, was Dude, Where's My Car released?
Dude, Where's My Car? 2002.
I'll say 2000. You're going. Okay, I'll go 02.
Chris, good adjustment. 2000. Also, guys, the original Jumanji was released on this day. Robin Williams version. What year was that?
Oh, God.
1996.
I was going to say 97.
No, I'm going to say 1995.
Okay. 95 and 97. Good adjustment, Chris. That's the exact year. 1990. He knows the movies.
He does.
All right. Happy birthday, Joey
Lawrence.
Buttafuoco.
Wow. That got him. Joey Bart. How old is Joey Bart?
Oh.
49. Giants prospect forever.
Yeah. Joey Bart, the Solomon Torres of Terry Mulholland's.
Are you guys messing with me? Is this a real person?
Joey Bart?
Yeah.
Yes.
#2 pick, San Francisco Giants catcher, heir apparent to Buster Posey. Joey is 27.
28.
We have a correct answer. It's Carmichael Dave. Joey Bart is 27.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jahlil Okafor, former top 2 or top 3 pick in the NBA.
Yeah, I think it was #2. Much like his career. Jahlil Okafor today is 32.
You're way off.
Way off.
31.
What's staggering, guys, is he's 28 today.
Oh, my God.
He's been out of the league for a couple years. Happy birthday to
Stinky.
former A's manager Art Howe.
Art Howe is 70 today, actually.
He's 73.
Christopher Lott for the win. Art Howe, happy birthday. He is 77.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, Mo Vaughn.
Greg Vaughn's cousin. Mo Vaughn was one of those Gary Sheffield, like, I do not want to pitch against you type of players. Mo Vaughn is 53.
56.
We have a correct answer. Mo Vaughn is 56. Christopher Lott, right on the nose. Dave, how about this one? Happy birthday. We'll just open-ended. Happy birthday, Jim.
Carey.
Garfield.
Happy birthday, Jim.
Gymnasium.
Neighbors.
Happy birthday to Jim Leland.
Ooh, 117?
Yeah. Jim Leland's face is 10 years older than he is. It looks like a catcher's mitt. I'm going to go 82.
85.
You're out. He is 79.
I was expecting 64.
Right.
29.
He is 29, exactly.
We will end with happy birthday, Rodney
Harrison.
Pete.
Okay, Chris got it. Rodney Harrison. How old is Rodney Harrison?
He is 39.
Roddy Hare is a big 4-0 today.
He is 51 today.
Jeez.
Guess we're quite a bit off. So there you go. Happy birthday to all of them.
We are stupid, but I think Christopher Law gets that one. We'll take a break. Oh, no, Christopher Law is disqualified from that whole thing.
What did I do?
It's freaking showstopper. When we come back, we need it. Friday fun and games coming up with Styles and Watkins right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app. This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. And we hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love and in the process creating some generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things to ever greater memories over time. What a return on investment. Happy holidays.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey there, listen up, Sacramento. Ready to make this holiday season unforgettable? Well, we've got something that'll have you jingling all the way. Picture this, a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $279 per month plus tax with no money down. No, I did not stutter. No money down. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. Elk Grove Kia is spreading the joy this Christmas, and we're making it easier than ever for you to drive home in style. So why wait? I will say it again. Head on down to Elk Grove Kia and drive home your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS today with absolutely no money down. Elk Grove Kia is your go-to destination for top-notch quality and unbeatable service. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or go to elkgrovekia.com. Plus tax, zero customer cash signing residual of 10,000 per 250 days and 10 year per mile over 0 security. Requires
Elk Grove Kia.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
We have finally made it to Friday
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games.
on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, I don't know how new that is, but it's the first time I've heard the Friday Fun and Games
You've been
rejoin.
saying that for a solid 3 months now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
woo! Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's on your screen. Is that De La Salle's Alan Stiles?
It is. It
Ah.
is.
Learned a
Yes.
fun fact about you the other day, so that's cool. That is
Now we know why you're such a Yelp reviewer.
What is? I don't understand.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
It just was like really nice, rich.
You
schools.
don't just feel the greatness when I walk into the building. Is that what it is? I know you're remote, Dave, but I know you do.
Well, it's more. I thought it was more your tightly toned body and your fashion sense. Now I know you're
That's
a
right.
former athletic great.
Long time ago.
And then
You know, I
there's
do-
Chris, then there's
I've
Chris
always liked
Watkins.
Dave.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, how's it going?
I've always liked Dave.
How are you, Chris? You good, buddy?
I'm great. How can I not be?
I miss our head nods in the halls.
Yeah, I do too.
Friday Fun and Games brought to you by Nobody. If you'd like to sponsor this, call Scott Marsh at 916-923-6800 and ask him for the Scott Marsh special. Jason
There you go.
Ross.
Quick question before we start
The
Friday
game
Fun
of golf.
Before we start the Friday Fun and Games, if you see someone in the hallway, are you a head nod up or down?
Depends.
Up.
Oh, it depends. Hey,
It depends. If I know you, it's probably up. If I don't know you, it's probably down.
wow, you do that subconsciously, or you plan that? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't
If I don't know you, or if I think that you could one day be my boss, I'm going down.
Wait,
As
what?
a sign of
Pause.
respect.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
If you're wearing a suit, I'm going down.
Harrison Barnes, you go down.
Oh, I'm definitely going down to Harrison.
Okay.
Keon, I'm going up.
Yeah.
All right. All the way up. Let's do some Friday Fun and Games. Chris, do you have our selected music? That sounds very Christmassy.
Hey.
I'm here next week, but I'm not on the show, so I wanted to do a Christmas edition of Friday Fun and Games.
You know, next week we're giving away something all week long. And
What's
one of
that, Dave?
It's to be surprised. I think.
To be surprised.
But we're going to be doing Finish the Christmas Carol. So we'll put all that together. So stay tuned for that and the wonderful prize coming with it next week, Jason Ross.
Nice. All right. There's going to be some team questions, some individual questions. We'll start with a team question. Anybody in the group here know what the best-selling Christmas single of all time is?
Mariah Carey got to be. All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Mariah Carey?
Is it a Feliz Navidad?
No, Alan got
I'd
it
go
right.
with Mariah Carey.
Yeah, Mariah Carey. That is number one. All right.
Get on my back.
Whoa.
There's a lot. Alan's throwing a lot of clips out today.
Yes, Chris, you got your work to do in there. All right. Who scored the most points by an individual in an NBA Christmas game?
LeBron James.
LeBron James. Any other guesses?
Kobe Bryant.
Kyrie Irving.
Okay, where our guesses are going, I'm now going to tell you it was in 1984.
Okay.
Larry Bird.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Michael Jordan.
Magic Johnson.
He has not been mentioned yet.
Said 84.
84.
Larry Bird.
He scored 60 points, and his name is Bernard King.
Oh,
yeah, that's
obviously
my next guess.
All right, how many of the top 10 grossing Christmas movies can you guys name?
Home Alone.
Chris.
Home Alone?
Home Alone.
The first one. That's number 2.
Does Die Hard count?
Die Hard's not in there in the top 10, and maybe they're not counting it.
Elf. Everybody loves Elf.
Elf is number 8.
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story is one of the worst selling Christmas movies of all time. It did so poorly, it didn't even make it to Christmas.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York is number 3. So we have number 2, number 3, and number 8.
One of the Grinch iterations, right?
Yes. Well, the 2018 one. is number 1.
Really?
Number 1.
So yeah, it's like money.
And number
Inflation.
4 is
Christmas
2000.
Vacation?
Nope.
Scrooged.
No.
What's that old one? It's in black and white.
What's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah, that one.
No, top grossing. So you got the top
Jingle
4.
all the way.
Number 1 was Dr. Seuss, The Grinch. Number 2, is that your guy? Jingle all. What are they looking for?
Jingle All the Way. I might watch that this week.
Who are they looking for again?
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man. Home Alone is number 2. Home Alone 2 is number 3. Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the 2001 is 4. A Christmas Carol, 2009, that's the animated one. Polar Express at number 6. Number 7, Love Actually. Number 8, we mentioned Elf. Number 9, The Holiday. And number 10, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen in 1994.
It's a really underrated Christmas movie, Family Guy with Nick Cage, Tia Leone. Back to you, Jason.
Back to you.
I don't think it's called Family Guy.
Isn't it Family Man?
Family Man. Sorry.
I'm like, wait.
All right, this is the individual portion. Carmichael Dave, you're first.
Yeah.
I asked you and Chris informally before the show, kind of the sweet spot when you're a kid, when you're looking through, magazines, catalogs where you want Christmas presents. You got a list. We kind of deemed that age as 10. That's kind of the age we've come up with. So, Dave, the year that you turned 10, what were the top 5 most popular gifts that kids want?
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
See if you wanted any of these.
G.I. Joe.
Okay.
He-Man.
Okay.
Transformers. GoBots. And cyanide. No, I have no idea.
Well, you gave 5 compelling answers. The answers to the year of your birth 10 years later was Teddy Ruxpin, Pillow People, Care Bear, Care Bears, Trivial Pursuit,
come on,
and something called Wuzzles.
Oof, Wuzzles. That sounds like an Urban Dictionary.
Alan Stiles, what is your guess for the year that you turned 10?
10. Well, I'm trying to get one of the consoles for sure. I'm trying to figure out if am I still 10? I think N64 was done. So I'm going to go with PlayStation. That's one of them. I'm going to go, I don't know if it was expensive enough to be a Christmas present, but what was the Vortex? The footballs, the Vortex.
Okay. Oh, love a Vortex.
All right. I think I was towards the end of, I think people were still driving remote control cars around. So I would say maybe remote control cars.
Okay.
That's 2. Power Rangers was done at that point. So, oh, wait, 10, that's Pokemon. There was some Pokemon going on.
All right. Now we're
definitely
getting
at 10. And then I think 10, if there's Pokemon, then I would say around that time would be a Game Boy Color.
All right, here's what they list. Texka Robotic Dog.
I'm not into that.
Micro Scooter.
Oh my gosh, the scooter.
Amazing Alley.
Yeah.
Pokemon Pokedex.
Got one.
And Nokia 3310.
Gotta play Snake. When I was moving from the Bay to Sacramento, we were cleaning through all my junk and I found my Pokedex.
Oh, there you go.
Still turned on.
Christopher Laud. Any guess about your 10 year?
I'm gonna guess Power Rangers.
Okay.
I'm also gonna say, let's go with Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Man, I don't remember anything.
That's fine. Well, I'll say this: number 1, Power Ranger action figures.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Biker Mice from Mars action figures. Cabbage Patch Kids, Silly Putty, and Dear Diary.
Silly Putty? That makes it sound like I was born in like 1962. Well, Silly Putty was the number 4 on
this list.
4th most wanted Christmas gift.
Yeah.
In 1994 was Silly Putty.
Yeah.
Were we like in a huge recession or something?
Times were tough. Well, the youngest of our crew, Chris Watkins. What do you think? The age of 10.
I'm gonna say
PS5.
Tickle Me Elmo. Shut up. Tickle Me Elmo.
Okay.
I'll say Furbies. I'll throw a PlayStation 2 in there.
Probably a Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchis were crazy popular. 2005. That's a
wow.
I don't. Yeah, I'll say a Barbie and a Bratz doll or something.
The top 5: Xbox 360.
Oh wow. Okay.
Tamagotchi Connection.
Okay.
Nintendo DS. iPod Nano,
Oh, we're starting to get some good stuff here.
and Star Wars electronic lightsaber.
I think it's very clear I was born in the best era.
You know, Jason, it's always unfair because you don't ever get to play. So while everybody was answering, not everybody knows your age. I'm one of the people that do. I went back and looked at the top 10 or top 5 since you were 10. You want to take any sort of a guess?
Probably Jax.
I've got him since we're out of time. I'll just give him.
Stick in the wheel game.
So you got marbles, pin the tail on the red coat, FDR, the board game, kite and a key. And yes, number 1, somebody said it, Lincoln Logs.
Hey. Measles.
Smallpox vaccination.
Number 6 was Hi Jesus.
I'm not laughing.
The Sacramento Kings played on back-to-back Christmas days, 2003 in LA, 2004 at Arco. Can you guys name in that 2004 game who the starting 5 for the Sacramento Kings were?
Bibby.
That's 1.
Miller.
Wait, I heard it. What?
Weber.
I think Weber was gone. No?
That is incorrect. He was
Brad Miller.
correct.
Peja.
I was going to say Peja.
Incorrect.
Darius Sangila.
Incorrect.
Peja did so wrong our test.
Incorrect.
Well, that was too early for our test, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Is Vlade gone by then?
Vlade is correct.
They started Brad
big
Miller
and
and
Vlade.
Terrible.
Ke-
Come on,
Kevin
Riz,
Martin.
what are you doing?
There's 2 more. One started all the time.
Doug
Christie. And who filled in for C-Web that day? Well, I guess Brad was probably playing before. So who's in for Peja?
They just ran huge. Funderburk.
No.
Keon Clark.
Nope.
That's a good guess.
He was an all-star on another team.
Hito.
Drafted-
Joe Wallace.
There you go.
Hey. Oh, God.
They lost that. Or did they win?
They did. They lost at home to the Mavs. But they beat the Lakers the year before on Christmas Day.
Yeah, they did.
Dave, this one just for you. The only other time the Niners have played on Christmas was 1993. They lost to the Houston Oilers at the time, 10-7. Any guess at who the only player that scored in the game is? And he went to Florida State.
Was it Amp Lee?
Oh, my gosh. How did you get that?
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Florida State's Amp Lee. I mean, if you're going Florida State players on the 49ers, there's not a ton.
Okay.
Was it right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you guys something. Have a great weekend. What's coming up on the show there, Styles and Watkins?
We have a lot of Keon and Kings talk. Is Keegan Murray untouchable or not? And yeah, Niners, Cardinals.
You know, if you start talking about trading, I'm just letting you know. If you start talking about trading Keegan Murray, Allen, you're going to get a lot of angry faces.
I wouldn't dare of it.
You wouldn't dare of it.
I just ask questions, Dave.